Like it. Massa. Nice. Now, Peter. Wait, slow down, move.
No, I wish you
Oh my gosh. Ele git bana sahip signal jumping. Wait, slow down, this girl on the listen. Yeah. Hey. There, Irene. Where's the values no need sorry go snel nästa. Ja, om vi hinner mest det par dagar deal. Väst det då snart du känner mig det är vi besädne. Now snel min omstöd. Now snel min omstöd det snel nästa. Sorry go. Move.
no, I wish you
was worth doing this. Her Lord rings you, is Saragoshin. Said Saragoshin a ground occasion. Mouse messes up steps and they begin to neck. Said no, worth doing that door for them. Her Lord rings you, you're ready for some delicious. What's up?
Well, I get with him up steps and all them nice. Her Lord. Silence helps and all up steps that they can actually deliver fight money here.
Easy here. He delicious from it. You didn't extra pass. I go show sauce.
Right back from I guess master Scott Goders he's vegan heard he master the gallon accident. Said I north that they got us that he delicious from my he delicious from it. I've cost nigger and over then.
Saragos. Go. Turn flip. Good. Ouse. Go. Ouse. Yes, ouse. Up. Ouse. There. Yes. Good. Wait for it. Everybody wait for it. Through. Yes, ouse. Yes. Badass. Go. Through and flip. Good. Ouse. Go. Ouse. Yes, ouse. Up. Ouse. Good. Right there. Yes, good. You're on, Abby Cline.
I'm on, huh?
Good. Yep, you're on. Through. I love this video. Yes, ouse. Yes. Badass. All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Ron Watson, Positive Vibe, host of DiscDogger Weekly and host of DiscDog.Live. I am here today with Abby Cline. What's up?
Hey.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Just, got home from the West Coast.
Exciting.
It was.
Exciting.
It was actually smoky and kind of gross, but it was good.
Yeah, I don't like it out there.
I don't
care for it out there.
I don't really like you. So I feel like Florida's just going to sink into the ocean and California's just going to burn to the ground.
Right. It's the end of the world, Abby Cline. Welcome.
It is, but I did get to see some whales, which was pretty rad.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Awesome. Super cool. So we got a pretty cool show tonight. I thought about you because one of the things that popped up on the front page of the site, I use the front page of the site to pick the show a lot of times, almost all the time. And it was that event in Canton, Michigan, where you hired us, your first event, like kind of on your own thing, and that was pretty awesome. So I figured we'd dredge that up, see what was going on. I haven't heard from you. But before we do that, have you heard anything about Skyhounds? Does anybody have any Skyhounds news? Chat? You gonna throw down some Skyhounds news?
I did the first, second, third
What's that, Abby?
I saw the first, second, and third placement.
Yeah, Jack, I guess, took third, right?
Yeah, and then Dre first and Kirby second, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Super exciting. I'm super bummed, man. My GoPro camera is not doing well, so I only have my camera and the busted cam, which is real. Oh, I don't even have the busted cam, so I only have my camera. Great. It's terrific.
Like,
So,
luckily you have to brighten up this feed.
what's that?
I said, luckily you have me here to brighten up your feed.
Right? Oh, hang on. I can change to the normie cam. And I don't have any light on Ryder. I'm kind of ashamed about that. I'll get some light on Ryder here in a few.
Yeah, I saw that in the background when we first got on, and I was like, "Aw, look at that!" Because look who's right there.
I know. I know. Hang on. Let me flip that. Get rid of me here. There we go.
Peter in his little gas mask right behind.
Yep. That's definitely going to be one of the shots in the meme roll, Abby. Like for sure. You know.
What,
Peter in the gas mask? Yeah. The pressed elephant was in it. The cat mask.
Yep.
Had the cat mask. I think I did Penny as the clown too, which was an awesome one. Yeah, Penny clown. Yeah. So we got nobody throwing down any news from the from Skyhounds. What's up with that, guys? Come on, chat. You got to do better than that. What's that?
I haven't seen much. But I was driving all day, so I didn't go online a lot, so I didn't see if people. Right. I did see the top 3, but that's all I kind of saw.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't see anything. I kind of kept my ears open when I poke through Facebook every half hour. So I've been cranking out. So like there's a bunch of dumb shit that's got to be done to tie up any project, right? In this live stream project, I'm kind of tying into, I want to do live events, right? Okay. And like asynchronous live events, like with a holding period, where essentially you just are like, okay, I'm fucking doing it. You throw on your live stream and you go.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that keeps the spirit of the live event, like, for real. Because, you know, you got to go out right there. Might even be worse.
You can't live stream a drone, can you?
You can, but not normal people. I'm like, you have to do like a whole shit ton of stuff. Gotcha. And even to get another camera, kind of, it pretty much requires a laptop out there. Not entirely, but either that or you got to be super clever. I'm pretty clever, and I've almost been able to get a couple cameras set up.
Yeah. Like
in a network, but it's really hard. But yeah, I want to do some live streaming. So anyway, blah blah blah. I'm doing a lot of dumb shit that just takes time to look at and research and then figure out how to implement. Oh, Grasshopper, do you see that? I wish I had a camera. Hi, Grasshopper. And I wish my... Ooh, look, it actually looks like it works again. What's that?
Take me off the, like, on my screen, it's just showing me, and there's like a delay. Oh. And it was
I got you. Sorry. Just know that you're seeing the live stream feed right now. Look at Grasshopper in the bus. How cool is that?
Look at the Grasshopper.
He won't leave the couch though. It's super funny.
That's because the couch. He's like, touch me. Stop. Not touch me.
No, he hasn't even, like, he's super reserved. Pan completely savaged him when he came in here. She did not let him move at all. She fucking laid it down on him. I think April would be really impressed. What's that?
How old's Pan now? Like 104?
Yeah. She's 1,042. Methuselah.
Yeah,
dog.
That's what I thought. No,
she was born. She was born in 1924. She was born in 1924. Yeah.
It's like a necromancer.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, she did. She just like, and well, so somebody in the chat is saying poor grasshopper, grasshopper, and then poor grasshopper, right? And kind of, but not really. He's such a bad, naughty dog, man.
He's a little turd, man.
Dude, like you can only handle so many 25-mile-an-hour dog catches.
Dude, right? Like that's the thing.
You can only handle, one or two, and it's got to stop.
It's like when you like open a door and you're not expecting, you're like, oh, I'm walking out into the world, and all of a sudden, like this tiny grasshopper just comes and flies into you. You're like,
and he's heavy. No. Like when he puts his paws on you, he just like wham. Like he's super heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, he hits super hard.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Makes me laugh. I did some heel work with him today, and walked up to the pavilion and shit where pandemonium happens every day, the family type pandemonium, and I walked him up there a couple times and worked with him. It was pretty cool. Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome. But it was awesome to have Pan like check him and be like, "Hey, dude, you need to fucking mind your. This isn't the RV, dude. This is the bus, right? And it might not be a prison bus, but it's painted to look like one, so you know."
It is. And I'm the warden.
Right?
Pan just walks in like, I'm the warden here.
Right? Totally. She walks in last all the time. She like waits for me to walk in. It's so funny, Abby. It makes me laugh. She like, I'll be like in, and she'll be like, no, you go ahead. I got this. I got this. Somebody's got to be responsible, Ron. Yeah, it's so awesome.
I'll close the door.
Right. All right, so here we go. Skyhounds news, please give us Skyhounds news. Anything awesome that happened? If anyone wants to call in, you can call in on Skype. I am at Canine Disc on Skype. And you can Skype us, and I'll throw you in on the call with Abby and I. And it'll be awesome, right? So, boom, poor grasshopper. Oh. Not sorry at all. At all.
Either.
Jack was third. Dre was first. Dre's been playing really well. I saw her play a couple times. Dre was first. Jack was third. Ferris was third in the whole world. You're locked in a crate. Bad day, Epi. Bad day. Wrong brother. They're the Sheen brothers. Epi is Emilio Estevez, and Ferris is Charlie Sheen. Right? Because Ferris is a little harder than Epic, right?
Yeah.
And I think Charlie Sheen was always a little edgier than Emilio Estevez.
Isn't he the one that like went to jail?
Charlie Sheen is the one who did all the tiger shit and all the blow and whatnot. Yeah, he's the partier.
Yeah, he was on like 2.5 Men, right? And then got in like a bunch of trouble.
Yeah.
And Ferris.
Yeah, that's Ferris. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Charlie Sheen is more famous than.
But before, no, he was awesome back in the day, man. No way, dude. Oh God, fucking whatchamacallit, Wolverines, friggin' Red Dawn. Come on, all the old shit he was in. Yeah.
The Breakfast Club, The Mighty Ducks. Come on, Gordon Bombay.
You don't even have to go far. And he's got such range that it's bound to step outside of your favorite genres.
True.
But like back in the day, he actually did have like good range, and I thought he was edgier than Emilio Estevez, which is why I think Ferris is Charlie Sheen.
That's fair.
He's a little edgier. He's got freckles, He's the cool kid.
Yeah, the freckles.
The leather jacket.
Yeah.
The black leather jacket, not the brown one.
Not the dirty MacGyver brown one.
If you contact us on Skype, the Skype login, I don't know what your Skype login. You have to do that on your own. But I am at K9Disc. If you hit me up, I'll add you to the call. I don't know how to do that actually, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, we should be able to do that. In the meantime, Abby, I am feeling like we should hit on the main topic of this, which is, let's see. I thought I had this all set up. I'm so sorry, guys. So we should be. See, watch this. Boom. How freaking cool is that, right?
All I see is regular grill.
Yeah, you don't see you and I on the bottom in the picture-in-picture? Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
There's just a whole lot of me on the screen right now, so it's very distracting.
There's a whole lot of what?
There's a whole lot of me. I'm up in the right corner, and then I'm also down in the left corner, and you're in the left corner, and then there's
Can you hide your monitor?
The one in the right corner? Like if I slide it?
Can you hide it? If you can hide it, that might be nice.
Can I slide it?
Good luck. I don't know.
I don't know what I just did.
I don't know. Good luck.
Oh.
You ruined it.
God.
You broke it.
Worse. Hold on.
Yeah, you broke it.
I did.
You broke it.
I don't know how to use Skype very well. I usually use like Zoom.
It looks good here. And I would use Zoom, but they have some proprietary weird shit that gets in the way. So what we're going to hit on first is oppositional feeding, guys, while Abby pokes her finger in our eyes for a long time. This is one of the things that came up on the front page of the website when I go to the front. You got it now?
No, just continue.
No?
I'm sorry. I'll stop talking.
All right. So when I go to the website, I pull up the front page. I take the first 9 things, and that's what the show is. And so these 9 tabs up here are the show. The first video kind of lesson we have, because I kind of want to go to that right now, so Abby and I can stop talking. You guys, or we can start pointing at things where we're. Anyway, blah blah blah. So we're gonna hit on oppositional feeding, right? It's the first video I have, and so the first video, Abby, is CJ and Sydney in New York. Super awesome. CJ and Sydney in New York. Super awesome. You're gonna have to go headphones, Jack. Jack's here. What? You're gonna have to go headphones, Jack.
I can mute.
Jack's here. All right, I might have to mute Jack. Oh, did I just kick Abby?
Can I have another white?
Oh, hang on. Let everyone know. Grid view plus. Where'd Abby go? Abby disappeared.
I was getting you one. Okay.
Cheers.
Add. All right. I think I just disconnected Abby. So we are being recorded. 3rd place finish. That's right, Jack Faley. Uh-oh. Why is that over there?
Ron, can you hear me? Did I fix it?
I have you now. I do not have.
I have you now.
Yes, I have your video too. So I will add you. Woohoo! Now Jack is making everyone vomitous.
No, it's Cat.
What is Jack doing? All I can see is his wrinkly little hand.
Super awesome.
Just like this thumb, just like the wrinkly part of his dry hand.
Whatever.
Super funny.
I also hear an April laugh in the background.
I think so.
That's a third.
I think
do this.
so.
That's a 3rd place hand.
Super awesome. So how was everything today, guys? Was it awesome?
Yeah, it was good. Ferris had an awesome first round, one drop. I did some cool shit, and and then we had a good toss and fetch round, 21 and a half.
Ooh.
And ended up in third place, half point ahead of Kirby. Well, half point ahead of one of Kirby's dogs. And then going into the last round, I was just freaking out.
Right. Of course.
And I didn't talk to my dog, and we lost track of where we were, and I slid backwards into third place. I mean, I was in third place anyway, but I'm just saying, like, it wasn't as good as my first round. But anyway, hey, I got the trophy. I'm taking it. They can't have it back.
Right?
Did anybody post your round? I haven't seen any of the rounds because I was so.
I think
have it on my phone.
I think
I have
Kat.
the YouTube link.
I think Kat posted the first round.
No, I
Okay.
haven't, though.
Oh, she's gonna post the first round now.
Okay, sweet. So I can watch that later. Nice.
But yeah, it was a fun day.
Jack.
Remix did good too. Remix made the cut to the top 20. He came in 15th place.
In freestyle?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
I still fucking hand.
I don't know why you only see my hand, because it shows me that you're seeing
I
my
see like
face.
your blade, your shirt, and your hand.
How about now?
I can see your
I
eyes.
cry?
Well, the whatchamacallit is in front of your eyes. There we go. Now we're better. There we go. And I'm all jittery, and my camera is fucked up here too. I think. Not happy. Not freaking happy at all.
How's that blind pirate treating you?
So let's check out this good. Let's check out this oppositional feeding video, and I'll be back with Jack and Abby.
Don't fall down.
Hey, Facebook user. Hang out. We'll be back in a sec.
Drop. Yes, good man. Drop. Yes, good man. So prompt switching, drop. Get Obi. Actually dropping a frisbee. Drop. Yes, good man. Drop. Yes. So now I'll go consequent. Good boy. Drop. Yes.
So right now
Yes.
we have Abby, or I'm sorry, we have April
Drop.
embracing.
Yes.
There it is. So let's check this out. Let me bring Jack and Abby in on this. I think this is a cool discussion.
Hi, Sam. Hi, Sam.
Come on.
Jack.
What's
Jack
up,
is
April?
there.
Hey,
That's
baby.
not right.
Hi, Ron.
Right?
We got Abby twice.
So
Yeah, it's weird. Why?
I've seen double.
All I see is Ron's
I've only
shoulder.
had 2 drinky poos.
Yes,
Why
good
am I
man.
double?
All I
No,
see.
yeah, Ron.
All
All I
right.
see, Jack.
Drop. Yes. So now I'll go
I got
consequent.
frisbee act.
Good boy.
So Jack, your shoulder is
Yes.
on camera. April's in center screen. Abby is in center screen, and
Drop.
my camera is
Yes.
frozen.
Am I-
So right now we can see
Dude,
we can see Obi.
Drop.
So let's check this out. Let's get focus.
Get
Focus.
Obi. Actually
Focus.
dropping a frisbee.
Yeah, he's
Drop.
doing a great job.
Yes, good man.
So do you see him arc there? Right, he comes
Drop.
in, and
Yes.
April's going to
So now
throw
the
this
consequent.
oppositional feed, and he
Good
just
boy.
has this nice, easy-going arc.
Drop. Yes.
Right? We don't want to do that in the oppositional feeding. We want to
Drop. Yes.
cut the angle on him. Each of those he curved real softly.
Drop. Yes.
And now there is the oppositional feed. right? So he was screwed with his
Drop.
commitment
Yes.
where he was going.
Okay.
And he's got no
Yeah.
hope out there.
It's okay if I eat
Drop.
this last
And
one.
I think that's a really
I'm good with
key
it. All right.
piece
Drop.
of oppositional
Yes.
feeding, right?
Boy.
Is to have that happen. And Abby, I remember being on a oh, I'm jealous. Oh, I'm super jealous.
Me too. I'm
Right? I remember being on a working oppositional feeding with you and Petey, and each time he came in,
Again?
like working oppositional feeding with you and Petey,
yes.
right?
Okay.
And remember that when he was just running that big friggin' loop of his own, he was just like,
Yeah.
woo, woo, and he was just burning, right? And then when he was playing with me, he was having that aggressive cut that April was doing at the end there with Obi.
I'm really excited.
And
I figured out how to turn the light.
For
the home light
that-
off, and
For that to be nice and sharp, I'm sorry, for oppositional feeding to be effective, that needs to be nice and sharp, right?
Right.
And so I thought that was kind of cool to have that on there with April doing that. So
Yeah, totally. I just got a message from Linda that said she can see us and hear us, but we can't see her. Like, I think, is she trying to call in?
I don't know. I only have you and Jack Faley in the Skype call. So those are the only two people who can interact like we're interacting right now.
Okay.
If somebody calls in on Skype, yeah, that's awesome. If somebody hits you up like that, please. And you guys can also hit up on the chat on YouTube if you want, or Facebook, however you prefer to watch the stream. I just pause the stream and deal with comments there a little bit. But yeah, oppositional feeding, man.
Thing is from her that says, "Oh."
The oppositional feeding has been coming up a lot lately for me. Right, there you go, Jack. Yep, nope, the other way. Yeah, that way. That worked much better. What happened to Abby?
Linda just tried to call me, and so I disappeared for a second. Sorry, Linda,
Right.
I can't answer. I'm on my phone.
I can try and add Linda. What's her username? Somebody tell me your username.
I have no idea. She's trying to call me on Facebook Messenger.
Oh, it's not Facebook Messenger. It is. Let me see. I might have Malice. No, don't think so. Skype only right now, Linda. Sorry, broke all my cameras the very first time I took a call that wasn't Skype. There's this interview mode that's really cool that allows us to really talk and interact while other shit's going on, while the videos are playing.
Can you not do that on Zoom?
So each time you piggyback, an app, you have to split up the audio and video.
Okay.
And so making that happen can be really difficult. I can run my whatchamacallit in Zoom, and then I could broadcast my Zoom live stream, but I couldn't do the live stream and throw up fucking Jaden, man.
Okay.
Right? Jaden did that. Right?
Oh, Jaden called?
No, yeah. She stepped on her phone. Let's see. So can't have that interaction with people like that, unfortunately. So Jack, what's going on with Wham? That is the news. That is the news, man. I want to hear about Wham.
Jack's muted.
Well, tomorrow, microdog day.
Yeah, tomorrow's microdog day, so we'll see how she does. She She's been up and down, like just it's overwhelming, like all the stuff going on and everything. Because this is the
Yeah.
first big test she's been at. All the people, all the dogs, and like she kind of like had a it wasn't super amazing today. She did toss and fetch and was doing a lot of looking around and that kind of stuff. Not as super focused, as normal. But tomorrow she'll play freestyle. I think that'll be better for her because I'll be right there and it'll be multiple discs, be able to keep her attention more.
Yeah, yeah. Throw some bite work on her a couple times throughout the day. Off in the corner, close to the field, not on it. I think you'll be all right. It sucks though, but it's good to get done this year, right? Like get done this year before she'll be a threat next year.
She's 13 months old, so you got to give her a little bit of slack.
She killed it. She's been doing great.
Yeah, I'm sure. But, I also know what it's like to have, not quite the same potential shown at the big event. Yeah.
She's a totally different dog than she is in the backyard. Yeah.
Hey, Grasshopper.
This is the only time that she's been in this situation. So.
You haven't done any up dog with her or anything?
Yeah, but it's in our yard.
Oh,
yeah. Oh. Man, my camera, I'm super bummed. I don't know what happened to my, look at that. Like and now my GoPro's all glitchy. Like I don't know what the deal is. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna disappear.
Aww.
So, but Wham, she did okay though, right? Like just a little bit of nerves kind of thing.
Yep. It's just up and down. She did great yesterday playing freestyle with me. She qualified. Yeah, and she did good with the environment. She's doing all right with like all the people and the kids running around on scooters on the sidewalk and all that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Ferris was hilarious. When it was announced that we won third place, and then I had to grab him and go up to the the podium, and then of course Ray is like trying to pet him, and he's like, his eyes are really big. I'm like, yeah.
Funny.
And meanwhile, Ferris is just like not wanting any of this.
Just zoom in on the picture that Ahan posted of Ferris on the podium. You'll get a taste of it.
Yeah, his eyes are like
bigger than normal.
Giant anime eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Steve Buscemi's eyes in that movie where he's like looking in two different directions just to make sure he can like scan everywhere.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like I was just like, yeah, Ray, you may want to back off.
I'm surprised.
Funny.
Get that.
Yep, just standing there, hanging out. Ferissimo. Well, congratulations, Jack. Congratulations.
Yay.
That's super awesome.
Thank you. Yep, it was really cool. He's a great dog, so I'm glad that we could podium with him.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Facebook user, that was Grasshopper. That was Grasshopper. If you go to Restream, chat.restream, hang on, I'll get this right here in a second. Chat.restream.io. Whoa.
Almost.
/FB. If you go there, Facebook user, and connect the dots between you and whatchamacallit, between you and I'm so pissed about my cameras, man. Urgh.
I love how intently Spice is actually like looking at the camera.
He's like, I'm going to get that dog.
Look at that dog.
So
That dog's
awesome.
there.
Yeah, but now she's getting April's pizza crust.
I want April's pizza crust.
It was pretty good pizza. It was only like $20 for 2 pizzas. Yeah.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like good pizza. Holy cow. Totally did. Totally did. So, yeah, wham. Big day. And the big day is tomorrow. So, no Spice in the micro dog?
Tomorrow.
Spice. will
Oh,
be in
you
my
can
cook.
have 2?
Yeah.
Awesome.
When you're that good, they give you 2.
Right? When your last name is Faley, you can have 2. That's how that works.
Yeah. Now that I finally podium, now I'm just gonna talk smack.
Right? Totally. All you people are below me. Literally. Literally. Do you see this podium? That's what separates me from you. It's horrible. Okay, so up next I have another oppositional feeding piece. Jesse, you are here. I don't know, Facebook user. It has been a while, I think.
I got no more crust. It means I need to eat more pizza.
And Jesse, you are visible. So, yeah, I keep wanting to go to oppositional feeding, and I don't know if I want to do 10 minutes of oppositional feeding with you guys here or not. Right? What's up, Anu? Good to see you. Good to see you. So, yeah, let's go ahead and watch oppositional feeding for slowing down and drop. Abby, Jack, go ahead and take like about 6 minutes. It's a 6-minute piece. I'm going to throw this on. I'm going to swap dogs a little bit.
Does that mean I can go to the bathroom?
Yes, that's what
Okay.
we're going to do here. All right. All right, and we'll see all of you guys in a few. Keep the chat going. We'll take any questions or anything you got. Jack is on site at the center of the Frisbee Dog world right now, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and he will answer all Skyhounds questions.
You're in the video, not the phone.
I don't know if you guys, I know everyone can hear me right now, but I don't know if everyone can hear us now. I know I can be heard.
Okay, so we're going to do oppositional feeding for a drop. I'm going to throw, the cue drop, and then I'm just going to throw behind it. And hopefully, well, you'll see it. Okay. Sit. Yes. 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 House. House. Yes. House. So, yes. House. Yes.
Call that a pop switch. And what we're doing is just pairing out with house, yes, opportunity. And I'm pushing behind so that house, yes.
The only place she can drop is out there. Come on, hot stuff. House, yes. Oh, that was great. That was great. Awesome. You are an awesome little dog. So that prop switch. New new cue, or the weak cue, the verbal, followed by the strong cue, or the old cue, the throw. And then what happens is we remove the strong cue or the old cue, remove the throw, and depend on that relationship. The real nice thing, she never got a chance to get inside of 10 yards. So she dropped out there, a couple of good consequences, and then she, oh, you mean I really can drop out here? She should be good. Yes. Yes, good girl. House, yes. Good. House, yes. House, yes. House, yes. Yes, good girl. House, yes. Good try. And I don't even care if she catches, okay? This is a drop exercise. Ideally, she'd catch. What you'll find, though, when you're working it, your performance elsewhere is terrible. When you're using it, after you've worked it, it's nice. So I'll do one now, and instead of like work the drop, I'll use it. Okay. And watch the difference here. Ready, Sid? Okay. Yeah. House, yes. Yes, good girl. House, yes. Good try. House, yes. Come on, let's go, hot step. Yes, look at you, beautiful girl. Look at you. Yes, good girl. House, yes. Good, beautiful. Look at you, hot stuff. Boom! Good drive. House, yes. Big girl, very nice. Come on in, hot stuff. Let's go.
Yes, out.
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 Yes.
Out.
Throw.
Oh, that was kind of late, or?
Doesn't matter.
Let's prompt switch her. Yep.
Out. Out.
Throw. And it's out.
Nice.
Throw, CJ, not out. Yep. Beautiful.
They happen.
Nice.
They happen at the same time.
We might all be here,
Throw.
guys. So mind yourselves.
Nice job, girl.
Yep. And hey, CJ, let's do that one more time.
Okay.
Is it like out?
No.
It's out. Boom.
Yep. Out. Boom. Yeah. If it's out at the same time, we're gonna get that. So kind of an important thing there. What we're doing here is a prompt switch. We're using classical conditioning out, and then the disc flying is the cue, the actual cue that makes the dog drop, and that making me angry. That position or that pairing, out boom, the strong cue, boom, follows the weak cue, and that's prompt switch. So we use weak cue followed by strong cue. So that would be the cue that does not work, followed by the cue that works. And we do that enough, and we pair them. Out, whatever your verbal is, predicts the throw, and then the teeth come off 100 times in a row. And then I cue out, and I don't throw, right? And if I don't throw there, what winds up happening is that the dog goes, oh man, something's missing, and they drop. And as soon as they drop, I can mark or not mark, depending on who I am and what I'm doing in my training. And then the dog will start dropping. And so with Sydney here, we got a drop happening like nearly instantaneous with the verbal. And what CJ would need to do would be to do this for, I don't know, 95% for 500 reps maybe. And she's done 20 reps here probably, right? Yeah. We've done 20 or 30 reps here. So, you know, over the course of what, 2 weeks maybe, right? And you'd have a really nice slow methodical retrieve and a good drop.
Yeah.
And then you would do it as a tune-up. You still do the Abby Cline motherfuck Abby? With the dog coming in for the over and you whip it behind him? You still do that? Yeah. And it's kind of that setup actually, right? Sage Paw, Amy Mann said hi, Abby.
Hi.
I think Sage Paw's Amy Mann. I'm pretty sure that's. Hey, hang on. We'll do this properly. Yeah, see, it's a significant hi, Abby.
I'm trying not to be distracted, but I, for the second time, have watched my cat come up onto the counter and take like a jalapeno pepper and then take it off with it like twice now, and I'm like, where's this cat going with these peppers? Like, where are you hiding?
That's awesome.
Like he grabs a pepper. He carried another one back there, Sam, and he like grabs it off the counter, holds it in his mouth, dumps down over a gate, and then takes it to the bathroom. And I'm like, what is this cat doing with these peppers?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Super awesome. All right, so prompt switch, super important thing. Classical conditioning, pairing. And we put the weak cue before the strong cue. And that sequence is critical, guys. Weak cue before strong cue. If you put strong cue before weak cue, whatever happens after the strong cue is noise. So if you want your verbal cue to be just some noise that happens, put it after your strong cue. Put it after a physical cue. Or at the same time as your physical cue.
Ron,
And you'll wind up in trouble. Go ahead.
A normal person would ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
So like, what if they do that and the dog doesn't drop, carries the disc back all the way to the next disc, and then drops that disc, picks up the next disc?
So you just you think you're throwing out a softball and you just threw a really tough question at me that I'm kind of dealing with right now. So like watching this video of me and CJ and Sydney, I'm marking when the teeth come off, right?
Right.
If I do this as a classical operation, I don't want to mark, right? I don't want to mark that. You know what I mean? Like, because it's paired, right?
Right.
So I just want it to happen. I want the behavior to be a byproduct of that pairing.
But you're still giving the verbal cue, right? Like,
right.
So you still give the verbal cue out.
I still have an antecedent. Yep.
Whether the dog drops or not. And then if the dog were to drop immediately, would you mark it?
So now I'm not marking it immediately right now. The only time I'm marking it now is when the dog runs way the fuck afield of it and the situation is over, right? So I've thrown it and the dog turned around and looked at it with the disc in his mouth, right? And runs all the way over there. It's now 3 seconds later. When the teeth come off over there, I'm going to mark it. Okay. Because I'm essentially saying that I'm free shaping it at that point in time.
Right.
Right? And I want to mark it out there because it's a freaking 25-yard drop. Right? Like you wind up. Sydney, that dog that we were featuring in this video, had never dropped at anything more than 12 yards. Right. And in this video, she's dropping at 15, 18, 20 yards, right?
Yeah.
And that becomes the focus while you're prompt switching.
Right.
And then in the course of this video, for the last 40 seconds or so, in the end of my work with Sydney and the work that CJ was doing, the dog was dropping on the verbal.
Right.
Right? And when the dog starts to drop on the verbal, I note that. I pad it with a bunch of more successful reps, right?
Right.
And then like in a session tomorrow, I'll come out and be like, all right, motherfucker, you're going to drop it before I throw. We're going to do this properly. And then I won't be prompt switching anymore.
Right.
Right? So I want to jump in. I want to get that happening up to where CJ's got it right now. And then I want to be like, I'm out, right? Let's do this proper, right? And then I want to tune up. But that marker thing, man, I've been really struggling with that because I want it to be purely classical.
Yeah.
I want it to be paired, right? I don't want the dog thinking, so I can communicate this with a marker. I can communicate the teeth off as being correct, right?
Yeah.
And making the throw. But I think a lot of handlers wind up triggering operant in that the dog needs to see the whatchamacallit throw first.
Yeah, the disc
Right?
come out of the hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're doing that purely classically, the dog does not need that. The operant portion will be sidestepping that, and it'll just be greased because they've been paired so much. That's how I want to do it.
Yeah.
If I conflate operant in there at all, if I use a marker, I'm likely to drop some operant stuff in there, and the dog can totally learn, oh, yeah, she didn't throw it, so I'm not doing it.
Right.
So I no longer mark unless I have significant time and distance from where the reversal of field happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I think that's good enough to make sense for all of our clients who have done it with me and who kind of have the drill a little bit. The rest of you guys, sorry, you'll have to join class and get something like that. Let's watch the rest of this video, and I don't see Jack anymore. I do see him here. Jack, are you still in the call? I don't know where you are. But yeah, let's check out the rest of this vid.
How long is it?
2 minutes maybe. Minute and a half maybe. It's probably less than that.
Out. Go.
54 seconds.
Yes, out. Oh, out.
Yes.
Yeah. And so now the dog is dropping on verbal
Yes,
at 18 yards.
out. Yes.
Well, I feel like it's
And-
I'll talk about like how like this isn't even a catch. Like it's not like.
Yeah,
the
that's
dog
good.
is-
You can do that. Oops, I can't reach it.
Oops, I can't reach it.
Yeah, go ahead, Abby.
And then
It's
work
not
off the out.
in the video. It's just about like what it's. Yeah, it's about the fucking drop. You know. So like when people watch you, like if you were to do this without explaining it, and they're like, well, you're just throwing a frisbee at a dog and they're not even catching it. Why is this relevant? And it's not even about the catch. It's just about the timing and the reward and
It's actually about them not fucking catching, Abby. It's about them being so overzealous and dumb that they run their ass out of position.
right.
And they run their ass out of position, and we deliver it heartlessly. And you know what they do? They mind their position.
right.
Right? Now, I do think that is really important, though. I don't even look at it like that, right? Like, I don't even, and I'm sure a lot of people see oppositional feeling, yeah, way to teach your dog not to catch a disc, right? And dog isn't catching, but again, that isn't the point, right? That is not the point with that. I don't know who this is. We're going to accept it anyway. Who do we got? Hi there. Yeah, the idea is the drop. So the first time I did this was, did it seriously with a dog that wasn't mine, was Lakota. If you guys look on the P-Vibe site, there's a thing with Lakota. You remember Lakota from Minnesota Disc Dogs, right?
Yeah.
She had never dropped anywhere but at the feet. And in Pitbull, yeah, good luck, dude. Good luck doing something shining and stunning when it comes to shaping with a pit bull with a toy in his mouth at a seminar. Good friggin' luck, right? So I start, and we go through it, and she takes every one over top of the other disc, right? And dropped them. And I was pretty disheartened, right? I really thought she was going to loosen up rather quickly. And Ooh, I don't know. I don't know who that is. I think it's Jesse trying to call in. You can call again. I'll see if I can get it. I didn't see it and didn't hear it. But anyway, dog wound up running, dropping about 22 yards away, 9 out of 10 discs. Dog had
Nice.
never dropped anywhere but the feet.
Right.
Right? And on like disc number 5, I was like, you know what? None of these drops are happening anywhere where she, like, it's impossible to get a dog to drop where they don't drop.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm sure you've been there, you know? You just can't make them. And and then all of a sudden, I had 9 out of 10 drops at a place where I completely could not make the dog drop in a million years.
Right.
And at that point in time, I was like, boom, I'm good to go, right? This method will work. Like, we're good. And sure shit, method worked. But I do think that is really important, that we're not talking about making the catch. One thing to keep in mind with that, dogs that are low on the drive scale, a little bit weak with failure. Oh gosh, I didn't do it. Oh, you know, you want to make these oppositional feeds catchable.
Yes.
You don't want to make the throw so they catch it, but you want to make it catchable. And
Right.
you might have to finagle that line a little bit to keep them into the game.
Yeah.
But don't fold and give them the catch, because that will, well, it'll work. It'll just work super slow. It'll just work super slow, and you can wind up doing some drive damage with weak dogs. But anyway, just be mindful of your dog's drive level and how much failure, and if they look at not a catch, I didn't make the catch as a failure. If they look at it as a failure and they're subject to trouble with that, you do have to be careful in massaging it.
Yeah.
Let's finish this up. Here we go.
And cue.
Out.
Yes. Beautiful,
Yeah,
CJ.
look at how
Beautiful.
nice and clean.
Totally.
Yes, great job.
Girl.
One more.
Right? And dude, that latent drop is the fucking worst, dude. Like,
Perfect.
if she wanted to do, and that was a perfect killing. It was a perfect killing of the game on that, right? She came way too far in. The dog dropped and was like, oh yeah, it's going to happen. CJ's looking at her. Perfect, right? I think we ended on that one. It just took a while to end. But yeah, oppositional feeding, super important skill. Abby, so let's talk about the Abby Cline motherfuck, right? Dog's running in. Over. Dog's running in. And the dog comes blasting in. Like, get out the way, right? Boom. Get out the way, right? And the dog's doing 1,000,000 miles an hour. And so what you do is you throw it behind them. You oppositionally feed viciously as they start to set up for no throw at all, right? And the dog learns rather quickly that when I'm coming in for that over, I have to question Abby.
Right.
And Abby will answer my question for me. Or the person who does the Abby Cline motherfuck will answer the question for him or her, the dog. And that idea of making the dog question, I think, is something really important, right? Dogs that wind up on autopilot wind up running too fast for their own good.
Yeah, because then they just expect it, you know, and so they don't slow down, they don't collect, they don't think, and so then you have a dog that's barreling.
Yeah, then you yell at the dog, right, for being a dumbass.
Easy.
Right. You yell at the dog for being a dumbass, You you ignore tricks that you can't do, quote unquote can't do, because your dog's just too fast.
Yeah.
Dog's just too fast.
Right.
The dog will play at whatever speed you will allow the dog to play at.
Yep.
And will not play 1 mile per hour faster. Cannot. Will not. Wouldn't even dream of it.
Try
It
at
doesn't
first,
work.
but work, they'll figure it out. Yeah.
Right? As long as you'll play at that speed, they'll play at that speed too. And
Well,
that's
and also, not just the willing thing. I think they'll put that pressure on you to play to see if it'll work. And then if that pressure that they put on you doesn't work and you go back to the speed you want to play at, then they'll start to figure that out.
yeah, if that pressure works, then pressure works to make you cough that shit up.
Yep, it does.
Yeah. Yeah, super awesome, right? Shoot, there was something right before that. It was a good one. Give me a sec. Hopefully I can remember what I was thinking about. Not going to get it. Oh well, must not have been that important. I do think it was, though. It was really awesome. It was totally amazing. Coolest thing ever.
I believe it.
Right. So oppositional feeding, keeping the dog questioning, right? Keeping the dog off autopilot.
Right.
If the dog can't go if you don't throw.
Yeah.
If the dog goes, don't throw. Don't throw, right? The dog should follow your throw. You should not follow the dog's throw. Oh, I think what I was going to say is we want to play so bad. We can't be trusted with the responsibility of not coughing it up.
Right.
Can't be trusted with that responsibility. We'll cough it up.
Do you think that is something that kind of makes the difference between like a routine with someone and their dog that is like a set, like getting to end routine versus
the mechanical versus the organic? I do, actually. I do. We had some discussion on that. And it actually makes sense because it's not epi, that'll do. Mechanical play is not a stylistic thing. It's not based on style. And it's not even based on team, right? You can have a team come out in one contest and play real organically, and then maybe in another one play real mechanically. And I think that lack of a dialogue with that is that when it looks like autopilot, it's missing something, I think.
Yeah.
Right? And I think everyone goes for autopilot and they don't. So we teach the setup move drill, right?
Yeah.
And we teach people who know how to play Frisbee. And they invariably tell me they know their setup moves, right? And when they start the setup move, the dog does the setup move so fast that there's nothing, like you don't even see it. By the time they're done giving the cue, the behavior's already happened, and none of us can even respond to the trick, right? And you can't work with that kind of performance.
But what I've noticed is that isn't just, I mean, like you kind of were saying, like that mechanical part isn't even just a routine beginning to end. Like it's sequences. Like once a dog knows the sequence, like they'll anticipate that sequence. Like there are so many times, and I still will do it in shows with Rosie at 10 years old, where she knows when she's coming at me, if I say scoot, that I'm going to throw a flip behind me.
And she'll flip, yeah.
And she'll flip either way, like whether I throw it or not,
yep.
And then I'm like, and so like a lot of times I won't throw it. I'll be like, no, fuck you, wait for me to throw.
Yep.
Like wait for where you see that disc going. So I won't throw. Like half the time I won't throw and she'll flip and I'll be like, you want to try that again? Let's try that again.
Right.
Scoot. And then like, I'll wait a second and she won't flip and then I'll throw it because I'm like, don't anticipate. Like you don't know always.
You can't trigger on autopilot. You can't trigger while you're on autopilot is what you do when you don't need to trigger. Right? And I think that's a big mistake on so many people's part, is to get that routine so tight and to try to make the dog not question. So Georgios and I had a huge conversation on this. I posted a video or a blog post about it, and I wrote a really long piece on it. It's a little too deep for, I think, normal people. But anyway, I want my dog to question the routine all the way through. Every time I give a cue, I want my dog to say, hey. When I say through, I want to present no through. And dude, stop. I wanna say through and have him go, Ron, I can't go through. And then I want to open my legs and have him go, oh, fuck yeah, got it, dude.
Yeah.
Stall, and I hold here, right? I want him to break down, throttle down, make the collection, and wait for the target, right? And if he decides, if he goes on autopilot and is like, fucking throw it where I'm going to be, bitch, and just bum rushes me, I can't do anything with that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did some of that with Ellie's dog, Merlin, as well.
Yeah.
And
he's so fast.
Well, and she's done such a good job of masking the trouble.
Right.
Right? Chasing her world championship routine and masking the trouble. Right? With her play. We've been doing a lot of oppositional feeding with him.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of flanking flat work. What's that?
Sometimes you gotta remember, for like people, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's easier to like play to your dog than a dog. And like I'm not saying, but I'm saying sometimes it's like, because like what happens when it goes wrong all the time is it becomes less fun. Like that's the hard part, is like when you try to fix it for so long, a lot of ends up happening is like, this isn't even fucking fun. Like accommodate and like try and make it work, then like try to fix this, because it's so frustrating sometimes to fix those things in a dog. Like, and like, if you don't have someone to help you who knows what they're doing, like, then you're alone trying to fix something that you don't actually know how to fix,
Yep. Yeah. Well, the warm up, right? So I do all of my learning and all my tooling essentially in warm up, right? So I do the flat work compass, or making the play around get out and dragging the dog across front, or a pendulum, kind of what I warm up with all the time. And within those 3 or 4 warm-ups that I do, I can focus on the drop, I can focus on the catch, I can focus on the leap, I can focus on drive, I can focus on any one of these things that I want to focus on. And so, like, I do all that work within my warm-up, and then all of the work that's like, all right, now we're going to fucking tear into this Frisbee shit, is all the shit that I do well, or that I'm working on and want to get better at, right? And then probably 1 out of every 3 is facing the wall and being like, okay, here's this fucking thing I got to do. Right. And so like 1 out of, let's say I do 3-minute sessions. 1 out of 3 of those will be something that I don't do well. Right. Or will be structured for it, or will be using something that I do well applied towards making something that I don't do well better. Right. But it's only 1/3 of the time, max. The rest of the time I'm fucking rocking. You know what I mean? And but you gotta devote some time to your weak points. You can't just hide them. That bum rush, the bum rush and push and open the handler for the pass, right? That thing that Merlin did. Yeah. And that Petey did to you, like whenever he was coming, it would be clock, right? And he'd come in and he'd be like, oh no, we're fucking going clock, bitch. You're going to throw it out there. Yeah. And so dogs running in and busting that move, when when that doesn't work for them, they stop doing it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then when they stop doing it, they stop for you. And then when they stop for you, you make them do that. And then they go, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you avoid that, and then you drop that in where you're playing.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I totally think. But the hard part is like, I mean, when you first showed that to me with Petey, like that's my first frisbee dog, right? So you explaining that then, I was like, I mean, I get it, but I don't. You know, like that's the hard. Like, there's so many like subtle things that happen in working a dog in any sport that like have someone there to be like, this is why that happened. This is how that worked. Like, do you understand that or not? You know, like that's the hard. That's like the hardest part about anything is like, it's just like there's so many subtle things that are so fucking tiny,
important,
and small,
and critical.
Yeah, important, but also
critical.
Like, yes, you know, and like it's just so hard to like. That's such a hard. Even as like somebody who's been doing dog stuff for a long time, like you don't always see what you do, you know, like, and then it takes someone like somebody else to come around, and you're like, oh, I've been working on this thing, and like I can't just figure it out with my brain, and like that person comes along, like you or April, and you're like, oh, I see it immediately, and I'm like, where the like that stuff is so hard, like, so like I can't imagine what it's like for like what happens to those people who didn't have those easy dogs, you know, like those easy...
they either sucked with their second dog or they're no longer here. Right?
Like I think about like Petey wasn't my like he was so easy, like he was like, all right, fine, whatever, like I'll do it wrong a couple times, if you make it happen, I'll do it. But like I'm like, what happened to those people who like didn't have the Petey's, you know, as the first dogs? Like I would have quit a lot if I would have had like my second dog as my first dog. I would have quit. I would have been like, no way, there's no way.
Right. Well, so there are a few things baked into that, Abby, that I wanna kind of hit on, you know, and it is a big part of what I'm trying to do here and what I try to do in general. We have to know what we're doing.
Right.
Right. In order to do something, you have to know what you're doing. Right.
Right.
And so, like think about skateboarding, a kick flip. Right? The kick flip's a complex little fucking skill, dude.
Right, but the skateboard's not alive. Like,
I know, but here's the thing. But it's a complex little skill, right? In order to do some fucking large percentage of all the skateboard tricks, you have to know how the kick flip works.
Right.
If you can do a kick flip and don't know how it works, you're not going to be able to do the other shit, right? And I don't see us like we want the answer, and we want to do it. We don't give a shit how it works.
Yeah, it's the whole Veruca Salt, man. I want it
now.
now.
Yeah, Veruca Salt. Yeah, for sure. And in order for us to really grow. So the people who do it with the dogs that are not right away superstars, they're picking up all this knowledge each time. And if you can realize that it's about picking up knowledge and growth rather than doing the thing, right? It's real easy to stay in the game.
That's super rare.
I mean?
That is rare though, right? Like, because like
I don't think so. Abby, I don't think so. I think we're the rare ones. I think people who walk into any fucking situation that they walk into and are above average in what they do there, athletically, performance-wise, right? That's not normal. That's not normal. Your athletic background, my athletic background, all the people who grab that first dog and shake the shit out of the frisbee dog world, right? Chris Mashburn, we could take Chris, we could take
Tatiano.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. We could take a bunch of people, and
you were like fucking unbeatable forever, like, and but like you have that dog that I don't know. I just feel like people have that dog that's so understanding and patient.
Yeah, but everybody else doesn't have that dog. That's what I'm saying, Abby. Everyone else doesn't have Petey.
True.
Right? You know what I mean? And maybe they did have Petey in their first run, but they don't anymore.
But those people are probably better than us because they like continued without like that like immediate success. Like the reason it was so fun and addicting is, oh, my dog is good at this. This is fun. I want to keep doing it. But maybe like
A growth mindset versus a success mindset or a cool mindset, I think is, and we can growth mindset everyone, but you just
Right.
can't have the answer.
right.
You can have a growth mindset or you can have the answer. You can't have both. Like the answer trademark, right?
Right.
You know, and so and you know, let's make it even more complex and add into the fact that there are how many ways to skin the cat, right? Like, so not only are there a million little nuances that we could do, there are a million like about face approaches we could do.
Yes.
Right? We could control it. We could have a disc-centric game. We could have a handler-centric game. We'd have a movement-centric game. And we could do all kinds of weird shit.
True.
Yeah. So, but again, man, I'm just moving forward with this idea that enough people are going to want to know what they're doing, right? When they get good enough. When they get good enough, they're going to want to know. And man, the way to get good fast is fucking know what you're doing. Right?
Yes.
It really is. It really is.
It is, but I feel like a lot of times, I mean, you can like hear something, listen to something, watch something, but it's hard to know what you're doing until you experience that something with the dog. Like watch you, I can like watch, like I can like again. That's why I asked that question with CJ because I was like, yeah, that's like a really really good example of that. But what happens when the dog doesn't drop? Like what happens when the dog turns around and carries that last fucking disc all the way over to that frisbee you just threw and waits for that frisbee to hit the ground? Like that's a really good like that's like the way it happened with CJ. That doesn't mean it's always the way.
So the thing is, the decisions we make in our little dog training flow chart, right? Those decisions. I did a live stream the other day on this. They're so important. Where you put the cookie matters. Where you throw your disc completely fucking matters. So, for instance, Alicia, her dog was, he was dropping too far away on a pattern, on a fly cheat pattern she was doing. She was like, well, you know, I think I need to pay more attention to the dog and get a read earlier and get ready earlier, you know, and maybe I'm going to have to cue, or maybe I'm going to have to throw shorter, right? And so this idea of throwing shorter to get the disc closer means the dog is on you faster.
Right.
Which means which means that any sense of handling the dog and doing your good work is now going to be like way harder, right? And so like every decision we make in our dog training has that effect, whether we know it or not.
Yeah.
Right? So it's probably important for us all to know that where I throw the disc matters. And nobody is paying any fucking attention to where they throw the disc.
But here's the thing. I mean, I feel like experience.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But again, so like this is something I'm like, obviously, you know, I am with this dude named Sam, right? And he has his first dog, right? And so like the shit I know about frisbee is like all of this shit. So when I watch him try to play with his dog, like all of this shit is coming into my brain. But I also have to like take a step back and remember this is your first dog. You want to play with your dog. Like I have to make this. I can't like over explain things to you so where this becomes not fun and you're thinking too much. Like I just want you to have fun with your dog, but also do well. Like or at least like excel. Like I know you're not looking to be a world champion here, but like at the same time, so it's like that kind of stuff is interesting because to me, when I watch him play with that dog, he'll never watch this live feed, so it doesn't matter. I like him just like, this is what my brain.
Mortified. Yeah. Oh, stop. Yeah, stop.
Yeah.
Ah.
Now
Yeah.
all high, like this low drive dog
Yeah.
is now high, like fucking stop now. And he's just like, go around and throws a throw
Yeah.
and like shit. And I'm just like waiting for him to like maybe like remember that I told him like, hey, maybe stop early. Like, so that's the hard part is like, you don't want to give, that's like the thing I have a hard time balancing is like, you don't want to give so much information where it becomes too hard to play with your own dog because ultimately people just want to play with their dog, but they want to do well. So it's like that fine line of like riding that balance of like, this is information that is valuable, but also like, I don't want to like give you too much information because if I do that, then it becomes less fun, you know?
So I don't really want to give much information at all. What I want to do is I want to get them doing the thing. Right? So,
Taking over somebody else's dog or like you helping them getting the dog to do the thing?
no, I want them to do it. And once they do it, then we can start talking about it. And so here's another thing. A lot of people think that they should do it right the first time they do it.
Yeah.
Right? And that there should be a way for me to know how this works before I do it. And quite frankly, there is no way for you to know how it works before you do it. I'm sorry. And any knowledge you have of the thing before you did it is not very good knowledge. And it's probably going to be completely superseded by what happens when you do it, right? So when I set up the flat work compass, it's literally a backhand throw to 2 o'clock, stop, a forehand throw to 10 o'clock, stop, a backhand throw to 5 o'clock, stop, and a sidearm throw to 7 o'clock, stop. And everybody needs to know what they're doing. And it's 4 fucking throws, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? From front position. Right? And there really is, it is completely as advertised. You know what I'm saying? Yes. But everybody is, I don't know if they're so focused on the trick or what it is. They're just not there with that. You know what I mean? And they want to have the experience before they've experienced it. They want like a pre-experience. And you don't get that.
Right.
And when you do, it's fake.
Right, yeah.
It's fake. And so like that piece of it to me is really interesting. And again, it goes towards that idea of like, what are we doing here? And it's like people want to know more, what am I going to do, than they want to know what they're doing. Right? And that whole what I'm doing thing, fuck that, I've done it.
You have, but they haven't.
No, but no. They would rather have done it than know what they're doing. I did it. Right? I did it.
Yeah. I think people would rather like feel successful. Like that's the part that I struggle with this stuff all the time. Is like I think people would rather feel successful first and learn why it was successful later. But I think a hard part of it for them is like the time it would take to actually like understand it before you make it happen. Like it's time consuming. And like again, most people don't want to they don't want to wait for that. Like they don't want to know why. Like they want it to happen, but they don't want to know they don't want to have to understand why. Like they're just,
right. But here's the thing: if you understand why, then you can apply it in your toss and fetch, in your up dog games, in fun key, over here, over there. Like that's the piece of it that that's the piece of it that needs to be in everyone's goals. and it's just not in anyone's goals. So you know what my goal is in dog training all the time is to pull the fucking that magic piece that allows me to do it in one thing. Right? I'm always trying to pull that one string that's going to allow me to get 3, 4, 5 things at once. And the only things that we teach as far as our foundation that we're real strict on foundation wise, you know, we are pretty strict on a few things foundationally. Where we're being strict is where it gives us 4 or 5 things at once. And we should all, as dog trainers, be looking to gobble that up. And you know, you've got that baked into your foundation, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think you're looking to pull the trigger on it. You know what I mean? That you're looking to like leverage that piece of it. But it's baked into your shit, so you're like pretty creative, I think there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking for that one magic piece, the setup move drill.
Right.
7 setup moves. Communication system transfers directly to disc. 15 minutes, done deal with a scoot. Fuck, dude. Like completely. And when I send my dog around, if I stop halfway in the around, he'll stop too. Right? You know, you can't beat that. But the other places in the foundation, I don't give a shit. You can do whatever you want, you know.
Totally.
But I want to get, when you know why, you can apply that knowledge. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, just so many different.
Right. Yeah.
So many different avenues. It's true, you know. But you know, again, like we don't all have brains like you, Ron. We don't all have.
I totally get that. There's a.
How do I get this to happen? Like, what is the fastest way to get this to happen? You know, and like, it's not always the best way, because like I'm not gonna say I'm not guilty of it, because
I'm not gonna say I'm not either. Yeah.
You know,
Fuck yeah.
Like for me at the same time, it's like I want to have like that more in-depth like knowledge and like understanding of what I'm getting out of my dog and why. But sometimes at the same time, like, because this is how I live, I'm like, you know what, fuck it. Like, what can I do to make it happen? And then I figure out the fastest way, which isn't always the best way, but sometimes it's not the most fair. You know, like a lot of times it's not. Like, the dog doesn't understand why it's happening. Yeah. I don't even know sometimes why I got it. I'm just like, oh, it fucking happened. So, cool. I got it, you know? But that's, like, the harder part is, like, and that's the part that's hard to, like this stuff is important. But also, sometimes it's hard to, like, make people realize why it's important.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think at the Yachi camp a few years ago, they laid out a really neat way, man. So what they did is they coached up the noobs, right? They coached up the noobs on some skill, some base level skill, something every fucking disc dogger should do, like load your disc properly, right?
Right.
And then they brought in the pros. And they were like, oh, okay, do this super simple fucking thing that isn't quite so super simple as we think it is. And do it thusly. And do it thusly, because these are the important pieces, right? And so all the pros struggled mightily. And then out come the newbies and just fucking rock the skill.
Of course.
Right? So I think a great way to do that is to set up something super simple, right? And then say, okay, do this, right? So when I set up the flat work compass for a player like you, right? If it's easy and not necessary, you should be able to do it very easily.
Right.
Right? If it's easy and not necessary, you should totally be able to do it super easily. And you know what? You can't. And I think you can. I think you can. But you know what I'm saying, right? It'll be hard because you're pigeonholed. Yeah.
Right. Really hard.
Yep. And that feeling, right, is uncomfortable, and no badass wants to go back there. Here's the problem, though. All the badasses wind up spending their best Frisbee moments right the fuck there. Because they're not clean enough and not good enough to do their bread and butter. And if they put the foundational time in and did a little Y work, they would be smooth and bread and butter in their bread and butter, and it would be beautiful, right? So, and it's uncomfortable to be in that place. But, you know, it's way more comfortable to be in that place doing fucking crazy.
Yeah, why is it way harder to, like, fix a problem than it is to, like, accommodate a problem? Like, with a dog, like, you know, if a dog's super pushy, super fast, like, why is it easier to just, like, play into that? You know, like, play into that, all right, fine, I'll move faster. Than it is to, like, figure out how to slow that dog down. Like, it's probably our foundation. Probably our foundation, we're go. My guess is an obedience trainer would have the flip side problem, right? Like, probably harder for them to let niggling tiny little problems that don't really mean anything in this session go and get totally paralyzed in a different way, right? Yeah.
Analysis. Oh, I was going to talk about Georgios. So, like, with this knowledge comes all these problems you have to solve, right? There's a triage we should be doing. Bite, drop, give. You got it? You got bite, drop, give, Abby?
Bite, drop, give.
Go play. Go play. You got that? Go play. My drop is weak there. Okay, don't cue the drop there. Play. My give is not happening. Okay, don't cue the give. Play. Right? Problems are solved with better play. They're not solved by applying your knowledge. Right? You get the 3 mechanical problems solved, or 2 of the 3. Right. Bite, drop, or bite, give, or I think you probably even do it with, you can do drop, give, right? And you can apply that and pigeonhole the dog in towards going towards playing Frisbee. You don't want to go looking for problems. So Georgios had this problem with the drop with Lupo. And he's like, I finally I got a drop. This is amazing. And the next fucking thing he sends me in chat is, I need to work on this now. And I'm like, dude, you've been fucking trying to solve this problem for 4 years, and you haven't been able to play with your dog because it's a base level mechanical problem. Right. And now here you've solved it, and you're not going to capitalize on it?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
What's up with that? Right? And so, like, I think that's a big problem with the knowledge, is to go jumping from problem to problem and solve problem to problem. Triage those problems. Get the ones you need to get your game going. Go ahead.
You're saying that a person that has had multiple Frisbee dogs, like, you look at Georgios, Lupo was his first, you know, like, so it's like, once you solve a problem, like, for that person who even put in the time to do 4 years work on a dog, which, like, most people who play Frisbee are like, fuck it, I'll go do obedience, or I'll do agility.
You're
gonna give up, you know? So it's like, again, you want to be like, maybe, like, let's keep working on that before we move on to something else. But at the same time, you don't want to discourage, like, that. I don't know, that it's so hard for me, you know, because again, it's like, I don't know, like, I feel like the first dogs everybody had made them, you know, like, you probably wouldn't be here without a chemo. I wouldn't be here without a PD.
Yep.
You know, if we didn't have those dogs that, like.
So here's anybody teaching. So what you want to do is you want to set up an achievable goal.
Right.
Right? And if you can set up an achievable goal that they think should be completely achievable, that's challenging, right?
Yeah.
And they achieve it, awesome, woohoo, let's take the next step, or let's refine that skill. If they don't achieve it, then we fall into, like, hey, you know, this is really easy, right? Well, why did that shit not work? And then when we ask that player why it didn't, dog's too fast, dog's too aggressive, I can't throw, right? So there's the work path, right? There's the work path. If they get it, then we can talk about what they did, right? And then We're going to be doing vaults later. Maybe we connect the triggers together.
Yeah.
Right? We talk about their trigger. The dog was really good on the trigger. He waited for the disc to go flat. And then we're going to draw that into the trigger discussion. But like getting them to do it, an achievable thing. And then if they can't do it, take the dog and do it.
Yeah.
And show them. Right? Like the ethical dog trainer. Remember when I came to the realization that it wasn't ethical to talk about dog training with certain people and in certain situations?
Yes.
You have to show it. You just can't even talk about it. It's not ethical.
Right.
And it's not fair in a discussion, any argument, quote unquote, discussion. But I think April's really guilty of not taking enough of the pressure off of the handler with their dog. She really pushes them to do it themselves, you know. And
like the
what's
dog
that?
has like the what do you mean like she pushes the dog to take the pressure off, or she won't take
she makes the handler work the dog. She'll make the handler work the dog in a situation where the handler's not likely to succeed. Right? And she'll help them through it. But she'll help them through it. And it works. Right? Right? And she'll help them through it. And that's awesome. But when we're talking about like, the people who see their dogs play, they can't do it, but they see their dogs play and go, I'm hooked. Yeah. Done. I've seen my dog do this. Done. And so like when we can do that for people who are not capable of doing it, I think that's our kind of obligation as teachers, right? And then to grease the skids for them. So we set up the flat work compass, 4 simple throws. Not at all fucking easy, by the way. Not at all easy, but simple. And we should all be able to do it. Everyone should be able to do it, right?
But again, a Ron Watson quote: "Dog training isn't easy, but it's simple."
Yeah, right, yeah. And so like, so this starts going down, and they fuck it up. We slide in, we ask why it fucked up, we demonstrate with the dog, we work 3 reps with the dog. Dog is now greased, handler's seen it, they've seen their why in action, turn it over to the handler. And I think
I feel like that's fair.
Well, it's way more fair than making them fucking do it on their own. It does.
It's
Go
also
ahead.
not fair. Like, I feel like it takes so long to like figure out that science. Like with any dog, like with any trick, any move, like it takes so long, right?
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
If we can take a dog and make that look
And
super
bang, right there. Yeah. It's not fair. It's not fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair because then they go out and they can't.
Yeah.
And then they get frustrated, And
Yeah.
so I feel like it's easy to do that, and I want to be like, this is what your dog is capable of, but at the same time, it's not fair because without even like having to think.
Not even just me being better. Not even just me being better. Me being not you.
Right.
Me being not you, and that's where I go with that, Abby. Right.
Me not having a history of however long we get wrong.
That we've done it wrong. And me being new, so the dog has to watch every fucking thing I do. And I'm only doing it perfect. Because I'm only working with this dog for 6 minutes. Ever.
Right.
And those 6 minutes are perfect. It's not fair. It's totally not fair.
That's the part that kills me is it's not fair.
But here's the thing, Abby. Here's the thing. It reinforces the likelihood of the dog doing it. It gives a positive example. Right? It proves, and here's the big one, it proves that you can do it with this dog. The number of people, not with my dog. Not with my dog. Like everybody's like that. Fucking guilty. Hang on, let me put my hand in the thing here. Guilty, right? Not with my dog. And then someone comes in and does the method with my dog. And I think that actually is I've had several people, I think, who stuck with the game because they saw their dogs doing it with purpose and experiencing something between me and the dog. while watching, and they were hooked on that. If they would have not seen that, if I'd have taken the April method and pushed them through and got them somewhat successful with that plotting, right? Or they needed to see their dog.
I think
from back here.
I know, but I also think it's a balance of both. Like, I think they need to see their dog at that point, but they also need to feel progress. Like, I think there's like a fine balance that you have to find. Like here, let me show you what your dog can do, and let me show you how to like start to at least get there, so you feel progress. Like, I think that's the important part. Is like.
So what moves? What are your first entries or your first? What's your first inclination with a new player? Weak thrower. Great dog, 2.5 years old. What's the first thing you do? Weak thrower, great dog. Leaping dog.
Leaping dog, even. I mean, for me, if I had a weak player, like weak throwing or like weak movement, or what are we talking about? Like just weak all around?
Weak throwing. Okay. So throw is not super reliable and blah, blah, blah. So where do you start with that?
Like for me personally, I'm not going to encourage different throws at that point in time. I'm going to be like, you have a really strong dog. Like, your throws with practice will eventually get. Right now, I'm going to like advise you to like teach your dog like the ideas you want with your backhands if they're reliable enough, and then eventually once your throws are better, move on to those, like let's say we're gonna zigzag, like,
okay, so that's philosophically or methodologically, right? So what's the first thing you have them do?
Like when I work with someone?
Yeah. Like that person, what would be, boom, the first thing, what would be like your, and of course, that person will be disappointed if they don't learn a vault this weekend.
I don't always teach vaults.
Right? No, but you know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah. So they're a go-getter. Yeah, right? Yeah. You're following that angle.
Yeah.
So what's the first Frisbee thing that you have them do?
Yeah, Ron, that's such a big ass thing, because like, are we talking like a border collie, or are we talking like a
big leaping dog, a big leaping dog and a weak throwing handler?
And a what? Mediocre throwing handler.
A weak throwing handler.
With routine or no routine?
Brand new.
No competitive history.
No. Yeah, maybe agility.
Okay.
Maybe agility, but yeah, weak throwing, no frisbee competitive stuff. So what's the first thing you break out on the dog, or what would you be like? And I'm kind of doing this because I think it pertains greatly to why we're doing these things, right? I'm just like really curious where you would start on the go end, right? Like, again, I know you and April are both on the go end, right? So where do you start with that player?
Again, with you and I, we'll teach it, because like for me, I'm like being the type of person that I am, like knowing like, I go to a seminar, I want to leave with like something like tangible. Like I want to leave with like a thing, like a new thing, like for me is like the type, like I'm not saying the information is wrong, but for me, if I were to just go learn a bunch of stuff, like brain stuff and like theory, like I would feel like I want action. Like that's just fucking who I am. Like I want progress. I want action. I want like visual results. So like when I do a seminar, like I don't do a lot of group shit. Like I like everybody goes out, they show me what you do with your dog. You have 2 minutes. Show me what you do, and then I write down what I think they need. And if they're super new, I'll write down like the simple stuff, the same shit you always did. You know, through weight flip. Like that is a good
Yep.
newbie. Like through weight flip. You know, and if they're good, through weight flip, maybe leg ball. You know, depending on the
Yep.
handler. So like for me, it always depends on like watching the way a person can move with their dog, interact with their dog, the way their dog reads them, and they read their dog. You know, so at seminars, like some people I'll be working like crazy, you know, tricks. Someone I'll work with like, hey, let's just like work some like retrieve to bite and like get like a bunch of energy and being excited and then just stop, you know, and that's
Right.
the really hard part. But those people who need that stuff get it. And then the crazy part is like the people who need that really simple shit really appreciate that simple shit, and the people who want that more advanced shit, like even the shit I'm telling them, a lot of times they're like, I mean,
No,
it
it's
was
so
okay.
basic. Yeah.
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 You know, it was
Yeah.
okay, but
Yeah.
like that's the hard part is like even the simple shit you're helping with these advanced players like become better at what they're doing. They don't.
Is falling on deaf ears. Yeah, totally right. And so here's the thing, Abby. I think it's our job to deliver the understanding that you shouldn't have fucking deaf ears. You should realize that this shit is like important. And I'm going to set up simple situation after simple situation over and over again until you fucking get that. You know what I mean? And how many 4 throw patterns do we have to do in a row with you not getting it before you realize that this is okay, let's do a flip in this direction and then a flip in this direction and a flip in that direction and a flip in that direction. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, like 50%
Right,
of them.
but you have to poke and prod, Abby. You have to poke and prod, and then we have to do enough of that so enough people have that curiosity and that they realize that it's going down, so that when someone says, "Oh yeah, you don't need to learn that shit," the person that hears it looks at them and goes, "Oh, really? Okay, I get that now." Right, you're one of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't go down like that. There's a bunch of, you know, jibber jabber about what you do and don't need, and it's coming off from people who don't have a weight, who don't have a vault toss, who are going to be upset that they don't have a vault this weekend. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? And we need to help people get through that, right?
Yeah.
So what I would do with that new player would be to warm them up with setting the flank.
Yep.
And get the dog outside.
Right.
And then I would have them experience the dog coming in laterally, and then purposefully turn them towards the dog, and then give them some play with that, so that they realized that that lateral movement is possible, right?
Right.
And they're getting a look, not at their dog's fucking beady little eyes, right? Coming at them a million miles an hour freight train style. It's not coming down like that. And so that would be my first move with them, period. And then I would put sidearm or overhand wrist flip on them. One of the two.
Okay.
Right? And with the knowledge that they're not going to have it now. Right?
Right.
But I would set it up so that they're doing this over there, right? So that when they leave me, they don't just go this way. They do some lateral shit, and they can deliver visible throws to their big leaping dog in both directions. And that would be kind of where I would start with that person.
A poor thrower.
What's that?
Like you're talking about a poor thrower that you're teaching to throw in, like not to their dog, but in a throwing to a person, right? And we all know throwing to a person is different than throwing to that dog that's coming in with those beady eyes.
Yeah.
When they have, when you teach them that sidearm or overhand wrist flip, when that beady little eye,
yeah,
like full speed to
yeah,
deliver
but
that well,
But if the beady little-eyed dog is running by you, it's much easier. Because you have all the time in the world, you can just turn. Right? So let's say clockwise, beady little fucker's going. This is why I don't like the zigzag, right? Because as soon as a dog gets here, I have to cough up the disc. I have to, or it's a bad zigzag and it doesn't work, right? So I get the dog over here. I'm bringing the dog. I line up for my throw. Dog doesn't drop. I just keep moving, right? Yeah. And now all of a sudden, that weak throwing handler realizes that the dog can't rush me.
Well, so then you would introduce flat work first, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I would introduce it. I would introduce it completely on the sly. And the only talk about basic standing position, basic flat work position, blah 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 polysyllabic bullshit, they would get from other people. Yeah. And hopefully I would get that person out there early, and then they would watch more experienced players do a similar thing, right? But like I want people to do it. And once they do it, then they can start talking about it. And the hardest thing is to get them to shut up in their head long enough to do it. True. If you can get them to shut up in their head long enough to do it 2 or 3 times, they're fucking on point.
I know, but even me, Ron, somebody who learned...
Dude, you're terrible. Yeah, you're terrible. You can be terrible. It's
awful. Like, even for me and my friend, trying to be like, shut up, just like, do that thing. Like, it's hard.
It's because you're good at it. It's because you're good at it, and it's so fucking simple, and I can't do it, and it's fucking gross, and it makes me angry. Yes, all in one little neuron fire in a billionth of a second, man. Abby's bent.
It's true. Like it's
yeah. But we get it. We get it because we're good at it, and we can't get there. Other people. So here's the thing. So we get bent because we're good at it and we can't do it. Players and people who are not like real natural athletes, right? They get bent because they can't do it and it's so simple. And it's like the same reason, but it's completely different, right? Yeah. We're like embarrassed by the failure. And like the newer players are embarrassed by the effort that they have to put out to get there. Right? But it's all the same because we're all embarrassed about the same thing. But here's the thing, that shit is hard.
It is hard.
You know, anytime you have to do exactly this, then that, then this, then that with a dog, fuck, dude. You're likely to fail. Anytime you have to do this, then that, then this, then that, you're likely to fail.
I mean, yeah, 100%. It's like the way I will watch you do flat work with like a dog that like I can't even like understand patience to work flat work with, and I'll watch you do it, and it'll be like the easiest thing in the world. And I'll be like, God fucking damn it. Like, you know, like I watch it happen. I know it's there. Yeah. But for me to do it, like for me to replicate it, it's so much harder. So I like a lot of times we'll just get frustrated and be like, fuck it. Mm-hmm. But again, it's like, you dumb that down to like scoot. Like you go to a trick seminar with super beginner people who have never taught a scoot before, and like you could take a dog and scoot in like 2 seconds, and they're like, "What do I do with my legs? Where does my hand go?"
Yeah,
like, like it's that whole.
Given the shit around the skill is so critical. So the scoot, you have to know how to lure. You have to lead. You have to understand pressure. You have to be confident and know that when you push back up under the chin, the dog's gonna like. There's so much shit outside of what you do baked into that skill. Right. Like it's just not even fair. It's not even fair.
It's not.
And we need to tell people that. Right. And so like when we demonstrate it, so vault class. I can teach a dog and I can teach a team to vault in fucking 30 seconds. Almost all the time. But I can't do that because it's not safe. They have to know the other things.
Right.
Doing it is just not enough. You know, I have to see them deliver fucking 50 targets to within 3-4 inches before I feel confident with that, you know? And we should do more about like laying that out for them.
Yeah.
Like, look, this is complex. You are putting pressure with you're putting pressure here, you're putting pressure here, right? You know, I mean, a scoot is a simple trick, a complex operation, you know, and it's not fair. But if you learn the things that I'm talking about, you'll be able to do it with any dog too, right?
Yeah.
If you keep forging forward, you know, YouTube fast forward or TikTok on dog training, and you know, you'll get a scoot 6 months from now. You know, so blah blah blah. Anyway, I love that. I love that conversation, Abby.
Me too.
Yeah. And Bo is right there with us. Can you see it, or do you want me to read it? Also, find a lot of people fail when they're unsure or have no confidence, even if they see dogs succeed with someone else. Yeah, which is why you want to set the criteria really well with that around get out.
Yeah.
Right? Super easy. They get something new. If we get that, we drag the dog across the field and capitalize on some of the leaping, putting their weakness on display. But if that goes well, that's an 8-yard throw from a fucking dead stop, from a perfect stop. That's bread and butter. That person is going to likely get a leaping catch out of their dog once or twice.
That's bread and
What's
butter.
that?
That's like you as a trainer or me as a trainer recognizing like to capitalize on that, right? But as like a novice handler, like they understand, like that's the part that always is like super hard for me is like trying to explain how like important these little things are to people, but like they don't see it. But then they're like, I go play with their dog and like, oh, it's so different. I'm like, yeah, but like you
Yeah,
have to,
it's not magic, right? It's not magic.
Yeah, it's not. It's super hard because I want them to know how important these things are, but they don't want to hear that shit. They want to hear, how do I get better? Like, how do I win? How do I get like, you know, how do I get this routine? You know, and like that's the frustrating part is like, how do you explain to them how important these simple things are to get to those bigger things without like at least giving them some type of progress? You know, like that's the hardest part.
So sexy versus not sexy, right? Is kind of what you're talking about. The non-sexy progress is hard to see.
Yeah.
Right. That progress where the dog is now dropping at 14 yards rather than 12, or rather than 8, right? And so I think the way that you do that is kind of the same way you do it with the dogs. You set it up so it happens. Right? You set it up so it happens. And you know, when you set it up so it happens, then we can talk about it. Then they want to talk about it. Right? Then they want to talk about it. If we can make the mistake happen, we can make them curious about it and then fill in the gaps. But you got to get set up to make the mistake happen, which means you have to challenge some assumptions or be sneaky. Sneak that thing in, sneak that flat work in the warm-up.
Right.
Yeah, with that elite player who's super badass, right? Sneak that flat work in the warm-up and have them struggle with it a little bit. Ask them if they want to work on it a little more, and bang, now they're curious. Right. You got to be sneaky though, a lot like the dogs.
I know, but that's gross. Like, I don't want to be sneaky. Like, I want you to just like.
Jason Rigler, you were there. I think you might have been there when he said that. He asked me, you know, you should take people's goals, and I was like, you know, Jason, I don't really fucking care about people's goals in Frisbee anymore. Really, they're so off the mark. Yeah. They're so off the mark. You know, I want this, and they don't have a weight. You know what I mean? Like, right? Or they want this, and there's this critical thing standing in their way. And if you can't get them to realize the critical thing that stands in their way, you're fucked.
True.
You know, but like that part of it is always hard, and I think the answer to that is that it doesn't have to be like a evil plan. You know, flatware compass. Let's do it.
I know.
Right.
I think there's like
But
that's the hardest part. I think is like finding the balance, like the balance in teaching, like the balance
Yeah.
in like making someone feel they're like making progress, but also like dumbing, not even dumbing, but like making everything simple, like to
clean
to help
enough.
them,
Yeah.
you know, like that's the hard part is like because if you have too much of like making simple things happen for you to like you understand why it's good for their dog, but they don't, they will get discouraged. So it's like you have to find that balance of like what is good for your dog, what is good for like you as a team, but also like what can I also do in the meantime to make you feel successful as a team, like a player, like to make you feel like you're building like in the speed you want to build, which is inappropriate, but also
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like you wanna quantum leap kind of move somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? Either it's a move or it's a big technique that opens up like so either it's a move or like transition game, right? Like something that really pops. Yeah. So you know, working between big game and little game, right? Oh, I'm sorry, before we go there. And of course you have to do that with a disparate group of people. Right? With a group of people that are not on the same level, in the same wavelength. You know, that I think is the real tough part of it. I think that's tough. Like it would be nice to have an advanced seminar where everybody has 1, 2, 3, 4, and this, right? And we could do that online, not in person. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, it always makes me laugh when new seminar people come up and they're like, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, yeah, you're not going to do any fucking planning, let me tell you.
True.
There is no planning in this gig.
Right?
All the best laid plans.
You don't know why they're important, but they are, but you won't know it for like 3 years later until like you realize how important those things actually were. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's it. That's the other thing. Like, so our group, our Discquando group, my Discquando group is really doing really nice work, man. But they have a bunch of young dogs, so they don't have any interior sequence shit, so they don't have any of the sexy shit, you know?
Right.
And, but they all can handle their dogs. They can, it's friggin' awesome, man. I'm super excited about it. But more importantly, they're super curious. Right, around the right areas, you know what I mean, and they've solved a bunch of their own problems, right? And so now they're able to solve more and more problems. And
how many people are in this?
I have 5 or 6 that are real steady, and
like special. Like that's the thing is like that's the hardest part is like it like fades that like you. That's the thing is like you ride that barrier between like discouraging someone who's like not quite there yet and like really encouraging that person who is like fucking all on board, you know? So that's the hard. You have to try and find that like how to keep the person who's like can't get it yet like still engaged, but also keep the person who's really getting it like still engaged, you know? Yeah, apparently in the podcast now. So
I'd like to add something because I came into this in the same fashion of, you know, I obviously adore Abby, and she, you know, obviously learned from you, Ron, and April, and her own avenues. But like I came to love Abby in a certain, you know, so like. So I'm interested in what you guys are doing, obviously because I love doing this, but like it was never something like I sought after to come into this. But so like, how do you encourage
people like me that have a passion
I
for
was
doing
actually
this.
just talking about this.
Well,
Like,
that's
I was
why
talking about you working with Bernie, and like when I watch you work with Bernie, sometimes my brain wants to explode, but I have to like check myself and remember like you are like a person. Your first dog, like
Right. It's just like an
finding that
integration
balance.
because especially since I've had Bernie and I listen to everything that Abby tells me, and like through that progress, I like don't necessarily always understand why she's telling me to do stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just want to do it this way. But like when I do follow what you say, I see those results, and then I see super positive results. And like whenever I see those results, like just we can. There's no question. It's just a statement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like, how do you like? Besides dating and Abby Cline, how do you like? Beside or also a passion. This is me coming into the conversation, but also curiosity of how do you get people that interested in it and make them or help them realize that what you guys say does work. Like, obviously, I know it does work, but
So, a bunch of things here. First off, being okay with not knowing something or having someone like Abby to trust is awesome, right? It's very helpful. Lots of people today not okay at all with not knowing something, with not having the answer, right? So, being level set on being ignorant, small I, right? Just not knowing, right? And being okay with that. And being okay with being ignorant means you fill your cup, right? You know what I mean? And you just keep filling your cup and you realize your cup is empty. And that's a huge thing, right? So, Abby, I would say that's something I think that's really important to sticking with it and taking the type of criticism and the long road when you have to take the long road with a disc dog, right? You have to just be okay not knowing that. And then as far as what I think really seals the deal for people who are kind of in your situation, Sam, is I think flat work is probably the key, right? Because for us jammers, we want to do the fucking crazy town shit with the dog flying off of us because that shit's cool, right? But if you don't have that like burning desire, right? What you want to get, or what I want to get you, is the experience of being connected with the dog. And when you experience connection with the dog and move the dog, and the dog follows you and is your buddy, not just like laying on the couch your buddy, but like, yeah, let's make that move, fucking Sam. Yeah, let's do that, right? Do this, and dog's like, fuck yeah, I'm doing that shit. Bang, right? When that starts to happen, that's how we keep people who are not into it for the Abby reason or the Ron reason, right? I think that's how we do it, right? Yeah. And unfortunately, that skill set of teaching is not out there, and it's not really a focal point of teaching, right? So there's this space for every man to play, right? Where you have this emotive connection, like a really beautiful connection, and you feel something. It's like, holy shit. It's like when you do a sweet back vault or flip to back vault for the first time and you fucking feel that boom and pow, right? You gotta get that for people. And if you're not a crazy town whack job like Abby and I, thrill-seeking adrenaline junkie on this angle, then the way to do it is to get connected with that dog and move that dog. Oh. I find that to be the coolest shit ever, man. Like it feels, and my clients who are not world-class athletes and gymnasts and whatnot, like they really groove on the flat work. And so I would go there.
There's an interesting thing that I told Sam the other day. It was like, you know, like I can I could take all of my dogs out and like do whatever their job is in the show, right? And Sam could probably take that dog out, and it might push his boundary like once or twice, but for the most part, it's gonna do the job, right? And I was like, I can't take your dog out and do the things you've been doing with your dog, because like here's the difference: is like I pick dogs that do jobs, right? Like I pick dogs that are like into their jobs. So like whether it's me or you running that dog through that agility course,
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
right? And I was like, but I can't take your dog, and like she can't be immediately comfortable with me trying to do what you've been doing, because that relationship is different. And I was like, and I'm not saying, I'm actually saying it's like more important and impressive, because like she's doing it because she loves doing it with you. Like she's not doing it because she loves doing it. She's doing it because she loves doing it with you. And I feel like he kind of had like a hard time understanding that. So I took his dog that he's been working with, and I tried to like do the things he does with her. And she eventually did them, but it took like reps, right? Like me being like way more of a cheerleader, like way more of like, hey, you did it, yay, what a good dog, right? And I gave him like Rufio, my 1.5-year-old puppy, who like can do this entire course, right? And he was like, it'll be the same. And like Rufio just boom through the course. And I'm like, yeah, because like I don't pick dogs that like I mean obviously I want them to be connected to me, but at the same time like I want them to be animals that, you know, like can do a thing for like if I for them, like they can do it, right? And I was like, and that's so much more fascinating to me, that like a dog that does it for you, you know, like a dog that does it for that connection versus like a dog that does it because they just have to do it, you know, like
you know, man, like that whole like, oh, that wishy-washy, why is the dog? I don't really like. We like what we like, you know what I mean? And so if I like doing it because I'm doing it with Sam, that's awesome. If I like doing it because I love to bite plastic, that's awesome. If I love doing it because I fucking hate Frisbees, I hate them. If I see another one, I'm going to kill it right now, over and over again. Every throw is painful, right? And then you wind up loving it because of that reason. Yeah.
Right.
There's a logical, philosophical thing way up at the top of that we become powerless over that shit that we like to do. You know what I mean? And so like, I don't
think of it like Kiva not working out for you in Branson. Like, you know, and me like driving to Branson to take Kiva back to April. Like, because like Kiva didn't play Frisbee because he loved Frisbee. Like Kiva played Frisbee because that's what he did. Like, you know.
Well, he played great Frisbee. He played great Frisbee with me when we were at home still. So he loved to play Frisbee, but he just couldn't be without April.
Right.
Right. He couldn't be without April, and dude, that place was a fucking madhouse. And it wasn't that bad, but it was for a freaky deaky Kiva at the time.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is like there's some dogs that can go into any of those situations and do their fucking job, right? Like, it doesn't matter. And there's those dogs that like need that connection, or like they don't do it because they love doing it. They do it because
Epi wouldn't play with Jack. Epi wouldn't play with God. That was the cutest fucking video, dude. He tried. Jack would say go around. He'd go and he'd start running around, and he'd get around, and he'd go, oh, I just can't do it. And he'd stop. It was so sad.
Yeah.
It was so sad. Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, Abby, but like I also
well, here's the thing.
Ron,
no, go ahead. What?
I have to pee.
Go
Is
pee.
there like a video so I can go pee?
Or you can just go me live. Send me live, Ron. I have something to say, but you guys won't let me say it.
I know, right? You're being shut down.
Yeah, like you dog people that are professional won't ever
beardists. A bunch of fucking beardists. They hate the Herod. They hate the Herod. We hate the Herod.
So,
go ahead.
So the biggest thing the reason that I did that is because I knew, and I know that you, like, especially Abby, could have taken my dog Bernice, and done that. And she went out there and she played. Obviously, Bernie loves me, but she did mostly the exact stuff that I did. And she was like, she would have been better at, like what we were doing was an agility race. We were doing poles, a tire jump, a tunnel, 2 jumps, a barrel, and back. And like the whole reason that we did that is Abby didn't think that Bernie would do that for her as well as she did it for me. And in my opinion, and maybe Abby will have something different to say, but she did those things for her. And
Sam.
Yeah.
No, she fucking didn't. I cheerleader for that dog.
That was the first time that's the first time you ever did
Not put
anything
any
with her,
pressure
though.
on her. Like actually like throw a party, everything do something right. Like that's different. Like that's what you understand, because this isn't your shit. Like this isn't your shit.
Okay, you're right. All right, you're right. I'm just like telling you how I.
Like you asked me why at the end of it I didn't make her do it again, and that's because I know a fucking dog and I know not like to push it.
Right, like
I know to like reward shit and like not push. So you're wrong.
I'm done. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
done.
You're right, Sam. You're right. So there are a bunch of
Get out of here.
a bunch of spousal connection things when you have an information disparity, and happens all the fucking time. But you know, when Abby and I watch a dog work, right? When Abby and I in April, anybody, Bo would be someone else. I don't know who else is on here, but anybody who's been around a bunch of dog trainers and a bunch of trained dogs, we can watch a dog work and know how a skill was taught or how the trainer trains. I mean, like, rather quickly, right? And so, like, the nuanced performance that we're looking at is pretty ridiculous, right? It's pretty ridiculous. Where you would see a fine performance, Abby and I would be like, wow, what a shit show that was, right? And so the handler barely held it together, kind of thing, and I think that's a tough place for people on the outside and, you know, competitors in Frisbee to be, right? Like, what makes my shit different than this person's shit? And we can't answer the fucking question because no one knows what we're doing. We can't answer the question because no one knows what we're doing, right? Why was this harder than that? And anyway, blah blah blah. Did you want to wrap up that thought now that the situation is a little cooler?
I would just wrap it up.
Go ahead, walk right out there again, dude. Go ahead.
I will walk right out there again and to say that I understand that you guys have a different perspective of that, and that was me being confident in. That was me mostly being like, well, Bernie can do this just as well. Like, my dog can like work for you, and especially because she helps take care of this dog and is like a part of this dog's life.
Sure, but I don't train that dog.
You do not train that dog, but I know that you're also.
Oh, dude, hang on. I gotta jump in on this because if I'm doing shows, I'm probably not training with that. I'm probably not doing a show with that dog unless I've trained that dog.
Correct.
For real. Like, dude, La at the fucking Cowboys game gave me a goddamn heart attack.
I'm sure.
Oh, heart attack. She's got no good foundation. And then she was like, you know, I don't think I want to play today. And I was like, oh, God, dude. Like, we had a warm up at the field before the show, like at 2 p.m, and I was like, oh my God, this is not good. I can't open with this dog. I should have brought King. I should have brought King.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, seriously, it's like Sam has been working his dog, and I'm like encouraging it and helping him how like to do it right for him and like the relationship. But I'm like, if that were my dog, it'd be different. You know, like I would work that dog differently, but it's not my dog, so I will like help you in the best way I can going to be successful for you, right? But, so, I mean, I'm going to assume this argument was probably drunk. We were probably drunk when we had this argument. I'm not going to lie. So he was like, well, you know, I was like, you've been running Blanche. Like, Blanche will run. Like, all my dogs, for the most part, like, run for most people. And he was like, well, Bernie will run for you. And I was like, will she now?
And then I ran Rufio.
Let's do it.
I hang on, Sam. I'm gonna jump in feet first on your side of the fucking ledger, man, or on your side of the balance. Nothing can turn off a dog like a handler who doesn't think it's gonna happen. Nothing can turn off a dog like a handler that doesn't think it's gonna happen, or a handler who doesn't want to do it. Right? I'm really good at that shit. I can break a behavior really quick by not wanting to do it. I can do that quick. But like, I know what you're saying, Abby. I totally know what you're saying.
I was like overly encouraging because I know it's like I know this dog. Like I know this dog is soft. Like I know me as a handler, not soft. Like me as a handler, like you fuck something up, I'm like, do it again.
Yeah. Oh, one of those, you're done.
Let's fucking go back to the beginning. Let's do it right, and I'll fucking pay you. But like, I know that is soft, right? So like, as this dog is doing it, it's like, oh, you're doing so good. What a good girl. Hey, good girl.
Yeah, and then you're inconsequent, and then you have no juice left because you've shot your wad, and you're like a quivering mass of not Abby, of goop that used to be Abby, right? Yeah, it sucks. It's hard. Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
That's why I knew it would work. It was
but it didn't work.
Because she was trained well enough, and I knew that Abby was good enough of a trainer that no matter what.
No, that's not a thing, Sam. Bullshit.
I knew, like you did. You ran her through the race.
No, I didn't. Not the whole fucking race.
I just knew, like, you would. Of all people, you would be capable of doing it, and you did a really good job of it.
Then you're wrong.
That's the only reason that I made that argument. I wouldn't say that anybody but you or maybe Ron could run that dog.
Help me.
Like either any
dude. I can help you and I can't help you, Abby, and I can help you, Sam, and I can't help you. We got a call. Hang on. So patch this in. Keep letting it ring, whoever it is. Answering the call will place my current call on hold. I want to. All right, let me just add Jesse instead. All right, so plus why can't I? Together mode has been enabled for this call. Answer video. There's the join. Hang on, I'm gonna bring you in if I can.
No.
Oh no, that's what I did wrong last time. Hang on. I got it. Ha ha.
I can smell that. That stinks.
Do you have a real username, Jesse? You don't have a username right now, and I can't add you unless view profile, view Marcus Red, add to favorites. Ooh, I can add him as favorites. That'll work.
Ron, you have me 25 more battery, and that's it. So,
All right. You can dig out anytime. Although that means, hang on, you just made the announcement. So we'll go to the genesis for Abby being on this call. Oh, am I still here?
I see you.
Whoa, something weird happened. What happened? Hang on, that's really strange. What happened?
Here's the other thing, Ron. I probably shouldn't be on this call very much longer because let's look at.
You got a little jag on?
Yeah, like let's look at these amount of like.
Right.
Here. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't talk too much longer.
So I cannot find. I feel like I'm missing. There it is. I feel like I'm missing something. So Jesse, I'm trying to bring you in, but you don't have a username, and without a username, I can't. Active now.
The only thing I see
Plus.
is Bo up on the right hand side. Like, I don't see.
What's that?
All I see is Bo's comment, like on the right hand side. Who's Jesse? Which Jesse?
So there's a chat. Oh geez, I don't have my chat thing up. Hang on. Derp. I'm sorry, guys. I should have had the chat box up. Now all the chats will hit. Chat something, please. So yeah, Jesse's trying to call in, but he doesn't have a username, and I can't hook up with him because he doesn't have a username. You know what I mean? Hey. So did it pop up? Did the chat pop up? It should have. Oh no, not good. Oh, there we go. Hi, it's huge there on the bottom. See it? There's the chat.
I don't see it.
It'll only be up for a few seconds here. You can't see it at the bottom there? So chat something else.
Bottom is a positive eye pop print and then your little circle of your face.
Like, oh, you don't see you?
I see me like on screen, which I've asked you to like stop doing because it's distracting.
All right, hang on. I'll put us on split screen. We are going to lose Bo's question, though. I do want to get on Bo's question, though. It's a good question.
I can't even read it because my stupid face is on his question.
I'll read it for you. I will read it for you. I'll read it for you. Would you ever let those impatient students fail first, then ask them to try and tweak it your way a little bit to counteract that mentality of not want to listen? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and I would go as far as setting something up that was super simple. Right. Super simple, yeah. And hopefully there was some rookie player there that I had just worked that shit with so they could do it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. The Hirai camp, I came across my notes just the other day. I pulled them up and threw them in my current documents folder. Dude, the notes I took from that fucking on point, man. Really good. But the way that they structured, they did a bunch of kind of corporate icebreaker kind of learning theory shit. That was all really solid. It was really good stuff, and it kept. I knew them from manipulative learning theory corporate bullshit that I've been involved with in the past and whatnot, right? So I kind of knew when I was being pushed and prodded. But everyone else was really kind of off base with it. And it was super effective for getting people to, it was super effective for getting people on point. Is it just frozen for Facebook user? I don't know who Facebook user is. So yeah, Bo, I would totally do that. And I would go as far as setting something up to make it happen. I think that's a really important thing, and it should be something really foundational, you know, something they already do. Ask them to do it slightly different.
Right.
Something as simple as not letting them do a flip before their next trick, right, or a through before they do their flip.
Right.
Ooh, Terry, there we go. We got some kind of confirmation. What were you saying, Abby?
Nothing important. Nothing important. I was trying to tell Sam because he was looking for it, and I could see like the absence in his face. So I was just trying to help.
I'm not good at sign language.
No.
But yeah, no, I agree. Like, I agree. I agree on most of these things.
On most of these things.
Most of these things, I agree. Like again, it's just it's always a hard struggle. Trying to find the balance, man. Like balance.
Yeah, well, you can only process what you got at the time. So the number of things that come back around on me that I wrote off 5, 7, 10 years ago as being bullshit, it's pretty stunning, actually. You got to be ready to take the next to take the next logical leaps, right? You got to be ready for that. You can't.
True. But
You
it's
can't
also
make it go in there. You can't make it go in there. It's got to find its way in there.
It does, but again, it's hard to find the balance between like people feeling like they learned something versus like people feeling that they're like making progress. Like that's the hardest part. Like about teaching anything is like you want to teach all this shit, but like if you teach all of that like foundational important shit, they're not going to feel like they made progress because like they don't entirely understand why that's important yet, so it's like you have to like find a balance of like teaching like hey, let me show it to you, let me like demonstrate, like, have you work on it, but also while you're working on that, let's like work on your fucking routine because you also as a human being I know need that to continue to be excited about what you're doing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
The hardest part is like trying to find that like balance for people in that seminar, setting. Like, let me get it this far, but also like let me show you why like this like super simple thing that you think is stupid, that you have like no idea why it's important, and you have no idea like how it's relevant. Like, let me show you that also, so like at least later when you're like, oh fuck, that mattered. Like, because they're not gonna realize. They're not gonna realize it that weekend. They never do. They never realize why it's important. They realize it way.
Yep.
And that's the hardest part.
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff you got to do. You got to sow seeds. You got to predict their troubled areas, right? Like you have to stop them from going down the wrong path, right? Like, I mean, it's teaching's no fucking. It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. Not easy.
It really isn't.
But yeah, let's see what else we got here.
I'm gonna have to go soon, Ron.
All right. Let's pull up. Let's watch you and your dogs play. So we have Bullet and Time Warp. We'll watch this. And then I think we'll probably just let it play. You got a couple of games and then a freestyle. Now hopefully, go. There we go. Add Abby. Boom!
Boom!
Pow!
Time warp complete.
Dog's a badass. I think that was a Terminator, right?
Yep.
72, not a Terminator. Sorry. It's a McFly.
That was so badass.
Right? Isn't she a badass?
She was badass.
All right, up next we have Abby and Rosie, four-way play. And hang on, I'm going to pull us both into this picture-in-picture real quick.
This is super old, Ron. This is like, what, 3 years ago?
2017, yeah, 2017-ish. Yep.
Wow.
They're Updog videos. They're what I had laying around on my computer of you. I love this round, and I love the fucking red rocket sweet spot, dude. Are you kidding? That's the biggest. That's the biggest troll ever, right?
Pick it up. Drop. Pick it up. Go.
Yeah, so we had
Pick it up.
red
Pick it up.
paint,
Good, go.
and that's kind of all we had.
Yeah.
And we were laying out the field, and I was like, "Oh, all we got is red." And I was like, "Well, we'll do anything but a rocket." And I was like, "Nope, we're doing a red rocket." So 4-way play level 2, Abby in throwing zone 2. 4-way play level 2, you have to clear quads from the adjacent zones. So she's no longer throwing from the sweet spot. Oh, so close.
It's that last.
Right? And then she'll have to throw from the zone over there on the right.
10,
Oh, wrong way, Abby.
Oh. Isn't that awesome?
1 time.
Almost. 4-way play level 2, Abby and Rosita. All right, and then... All right, now we have Rosie and freestyle. And I got to bring you in again, Abby. I'm sorry, I'm busting
That's
up
fine.
the flow,
I
but
mean,
I want us both on the.
A little terrified of seeing it.
It's not bad. It's not great though. It's not great. I wish I had one that was way better.
Well, this was like mid-pandemic, me working a full-time job, not actually playing with my dogs, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go to this competition. Why couldn't you have taken something 4 years ago where I did good?
It's all right. I cut the video. I watched it. You guys play well. It isn't awesome though. You know what I mean? It's not like I would call it a lights out performance by you or anything. But you know, Abby, we don't do those very often. We have those flashes of brilliance. We're more flashes of brilliance players.
It's true.
I play for that grand 45 seconds of the best shit on the planet. That's my MO. You're breaking up a little bit. I think your phone is probably having some issues.
Can you hear me?
Yep, but it's a little clicky. Bitch. Yeah. Bitch.
See? Right there, I stopped. I was like, fuck you, don't go. Like, fuck you, don't anticipate my shit.
Right? Boom! Woo! Criterion round. Oh, hang on. We got to see your... Do you get him? You get him. Yeah, look at that, dude. Boom!
This is badass, man.
Do another pow. Make it pow, Abby. Make it pow. You got a boom pow. What's that? Did she flip for it? Oh, yeah, that's right. Wow.
Good job.
You remember that
Way to
one.
lay it out there, hot stuff.
I
Right?
that. I was like, you're right, Dave. I fucked up.
That was awesome. Super awesome. Well, all right. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna kick you off so you don't have to try and ingraciously bow out.
You know what, Ron? I've had a really nice time, and in the future, I would love to do it again.
Awesome. Let's get some other people in on it. And if you have any video or pictures or anything you want that are cool, send them to me. I'd love to put them in the meme roll. I just put. Did you see your foot stall video in the meme roll?
I did, yes.
From the old yellow building? Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I love, dude, going through those old pictures or something else, man. Something else. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool, you know, and then to have a place where I need to use like 2 minutes of not. I love going through the images and just picking shit that's random.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we got so many cool images of our dogs. Every one of us, everyone on this call, and we never show them because they're not like those lights out images. But if I got to show 50 images a fucking day, I can do that all day, and everyone will be interested, right? Anyway.
Sure.
Well, awesome, Sam. Super cool. Let me put you guys on the guest feature screen. Super awesome. Thanks a bunch for hanging out. I appreciate it. And are you gonna come down for the USDDN, Abby?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there on Thursday.
Sweet. So we will see you there. And Sam, you coming too?
Yep, I'm gonna try to. Yeah.
I actually registered him with 2 dogs, so.
Awesome. Division 2. Woo! Yeah, you'll do it, man. You'll do it. Awesome. Well, you guys take care. Stay dry up there. Hope the weather is good. We'll see you soon. Super fun. Take care, guys. Just drop off whenever you want, Abby, and then we'll be good. See ya.
All right. Thanks, Ron.
Yep. All right. So there we go. Chat. Abby Cline. Sam. There we go. I'm a little late to the party. Hopefully I get the normie cam up. There we go. So super awesome. Had a really good time. I hope you guys did too. We'll be doing this with people a little more frequently. This was kind of our first guest, and I announced it like 12 hours beforehand. I made a Facebook post and everything. So pretty cool. Pretty excited about that. I hope you guys are too. Hit us up. DiscDog.Live is a place where you can hook up with the show live. You can catch it live on pvibe.com, the front page there, or on our Facebook page or our YouTube page. So super awesome Facebook user. I'm glad you thought it was great. We will do it again. Tell all your friends. Hook up with chat.restreamio.io/FB, and that will give you the ability to be more than just Facebook user. I'm going to pull this up, and all of you guys who dropped a shit ton of small comments in chat, I didn't get to them all talking to Abby. Sorry about that. I'll poke it back up through the chat and see if I missed anything that was like a question or whatnot. A lot of like super awesome things said by Ace of Hogan. Facebook users, if you go to that link right there, that link will allow you to hook up with Restream, and then you can be more than just Facebook user. Let's see. Alicia said, Fly Chief, making the play Fly Chief flow form made me realize I had problems to figure it out. I had to do it and work it out. Fly Chief flow form is one of the things kind of Abby was talking about, those situations we want to put people in. Fly Chief flow, kind of silly thing. Disquando, kind of a silly name. Really cool ideas though. They're frameworks that ask us to do the same thing over and over again and do it properly. When we have the same feedback over and over again, we wind up learning things. When it's all over the place and we do this and we do that, we can't put them together and assemble it as data. When we have a good, Jesse, create a Skype account. You're coming in as just, oh, hey, I got you. Jesse, hang on. We're going to call you. Now I won't drop you. I won't drop Abby off the call. Here we go. We're going to talk to Jesse Moranti right now. Here we go. Do, do, do. Hi, Epi. Did you hear it? Does that mean there's a show going on? Jesse, what's up? Good to see you, man.
Good, man. I'm going to try and figure this out. Okay, so here's the deal.
Did you hear it? Does that mean there's a show going on? Jesse, so turn off the stream. Man.
Hold on.
You got it. You got it.
Okay, I was getting feedback.
There you go.
From,
yeah.
I was trying to communicate on my laptop, and apparently my phone won't let me do that shit.
Yeah, that's all right. You're good, man. You're here. Woo! You're on the show. Video this time too. Hi, Epi. Hi, handsome. How are you? So you taking the show, man?
Yeah, nice evening, man. Really enjoyed it. Really
super fun, right? Yeah. Good conversation.
Yeah.
Good conversation. Totally. Yep.
I'm like the eternal noob, so a lot of that stuff felt like real for me, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, man, like all the stuff I talk about, like, fuck, I'm a noob with it. You know what I mean? Like, literally, I'm not, tearing this shit apart that we do and trying to figure out how it works and trying to put it back together. Like, there's a lot of weird shit, you know? There's a lot of shit going on. And it's hard it's hard to talk about, you know?
Well, you've got your, you know, a personality, number one, human personality you're dealing with, you know, that individual.
Passion too, right? I love this shit. Ooh, I love this shit. Yeah. Don't step on my passion. Yeah.
Right. And if you do get somebody with an athletic background, they're very competitive. And that's always what blows my head, you know. I get, when I do try to compete, when I did try to compete, I just get jammed up. Like when we're on a field together, you and I, you know, and a few dogs or whatever, it's awesome. It's been a while, you know. But yeah, that flat work compass is huge, and it really woke me up to a lot of things, that camp I did with y'all.
Yeah, you did really good work with Obi. You know, that was fine work. That was kind of Obi's coming out party for teaching. You know, we'd never threw him on anyone like that before, so that was pretty awesome. I do have Obi set up here for a. Let me pull that up. Actually, it's a pretty good one. Where is it? Come on, Ron. Huh? Did I not put it in here? I don't think I put it in here. Hang on, I gotta have Obi. If I can't find it with his name, I'm gonna have to scratch the idea. But it is a pretty good one. It's 7 sessions with Obi, and it's his progress over 7 flat work sessions.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a nice.
He's a fun dog.
Yeah, he's super awesome. He's super awesome. Come on, Ron. Flat work with Obi compass. Gosh darn it. Is that it? Yeah, I think. Hang on one sec, guys. I'm working on this now. I don't know if you talked there. I did not hear you. All right, we're both here, and now we have this going. I'm going to pull up team movement Obi, and Obi Flatwork, September 30th, 2020. That is it. So let me pull this up. Just create one up here. So boom, here we go. Hey everybody, how's it going? Ron Watson, Positive Vibe, host of Disc Dogger Weekly. I have Obi here. We're going to do some Disc Quando stuff. Here. Work on getting him to drop and do some flat work. So this piece we're going to watch here is OB. I think this is the after video.
So check it out.
And we'll probably not watch the whole thing.
Okay, get out. Yes, good man. Out.
Just get an idea at how fast he
Malka,
moves
get out.
and whatnot. You get a pendulum here. I'm going to have to
man.
move this down here.
Aus. Makai, get out. Aus. Malka, get out.
So in this
Little
pendulum
action
pattern
here.
is getting him to disperse his pressure. You see him bust me there. He ran into me. And by pulling him around each way, he disperses his pressure. Now here I'm going to the flat work. Oh no, we're just working the drop here. But each time I stop him, right, he needs to respond to me, and he doesn't do that all the time.
Good man. Yes.
I'm just bringing him back and forth with a zigzag here.
Yes. What? Whoa. Good work.
Kind of letting him run free.
Yes. Squib. Yes. Catch.
And here we're gonna rear cross him a few times. It's just flat work. This isn't
Yes.
the video that I wanted.
Yes.
I wanted the flat work compass trigger.
Come on, handsome. You can do it. You can
So
do it.
hopefully
Good
you
work,
can see him working with me, following me,
Okay, get out.
responding to my
Yes.
my positions and whatnot, right?
Squib. Catch.
And I'm gonna pull up a
Yes,
video
good
here
man.
in just a
Come on,
moment
Out. Yes. Squib. Catch.
with the flat work
Yes.
compass.
Good man. Come on, Ope.
Oh, this is early,
Here.
actually.
Good. Squib. Catch.
OB flat work compass.
Good work, Ope. Out.
Yeah, this one will work, I
Yes.
think.
Good job. Out. Yes. Let's go. Good. Squib. Wait right there. Yeah, good work, Ope.
All right.
That's awesome.
So, and I hope
That's some
this is
good
the
work,
right
dude.
one.
That's some good.
You can see him, he's doing a fine job, right? So here is where we started. Okay? That's OB. So this is one of the things that the flat work compass is so important for. Right? Throw where I'm gonna be, bitch.
Oh, what happened? Yeah.
And notice I didn't call him. I didn't try and stop him. I let him go. I'm gonna let him go this time too. Oh, you got me. You burned me again, Ron. You burned me again.
Dude. Wait.
You burned me again. Oh, you almost got me, Ron. And so that movement there is usually where dogs are taking off. The horizontal disc, that right there, where the disc turns horizontal right there. When the disc turns flat, that's when the dog wants to go. That's when the dog is supposed to go. Dog can't go until then within the flat work compass. So you see me stop him and he sprint on by, right? And he's not paying any attention. He's like seething beast, right? Throw it. Right? He's blasting in on me and everything. And I'm gonna go by date here, and I'm gonna pull up the last one we have of him.
Wait. Catch. Good man. Come on, handsome. Okay, so now that I got my bearings, I'll go ahead and try and talk to you guys. OB doesn't have a good trigger. He wants to go. So we've kind of got that resolved with that first round. Wait. Don't like the fact that he's all over me. He's way too big to be right there. Catch. Wait. Catch. You can see him peeling under just a little bit. Aus. I'm gonna also really block him off well. He doesn't respect pressure very well. You can see he really wants to be up in my grill. Wait, dude. See that slight?
Right? A little bit of a struggle there, right? A little bit of a struggle. Let's check out Obi a month or 3 after.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Ron Watson, Positive Vibe, host of DiscDog Weekly. I have Obi here.
And again,
we're gonna do some flat
I won't
work.
belabor the whole
Also
video, but
disc Kwando, just kind of move him around, try and show some, some flat work with a dog that's obviously not a border collie. Check it out. Come on, Ob. All right, we're gonna warm up with the flat work compass. Wait right there. That is a flank.
It's funny, I
in
don't
the
know where to put
clockwise
our
direction. Yes, good man. Aus.
look at his speed
Yes, a flank in the counterclock direction.
and his attentiveness to
Oh,
me.
come on, handsome. Aus. Yes. A pass in the clockwise direction. Dude, come on.
Yeah, I'm giving him shit for catching.
Aus.
Um,
And a pass
he's a
in the
terrible
counterclock
catcher.
direction. Catch.
Aw, thanks, Bo.
Yes, good man. Oh, great work. Great work. That was it. That was it.
You too,
That's
bro.
Awesome. Obi's stopping on every rep. That's something new. I'm going to go ahead and switch this a little bit, and I'm going to do one more of those. Ready? Catch.
So notice what you don't hear here.
Yes, good man.
You don't hear me fighting with him,
Stopping him with that.
right?
other
You don't
leg catch.
you don't see me like being
Stepping
quick
forward,
and
making a
responsive.
pause. That's going to tell him yes. That the flank
Right.
is out there. Aus.
Look at that. Holy shit, Obi. Holy shit, did you stop?
Clockwise pass.
What?
Good man. Come on, handsome. Aus. Catch with counterclock pass. Good work, Ob. Good job.
Right? Pretty
All right.
nice.
What we're gonna do this time is just kind of move him around a little bit.
Oh shit. Where were we? Sorry, guys.
Interception type stuff. Yes. Aus. Yes. Try and slow him down a little bit.
So
Aus.
you'll see him
Yes,
here. He
easy.
starts out running pretty hard.
Aus.
But even here,
Yes.
it's half the speed
Yes, good man.
of where he
Aus.
was,
Yes, easy.
you know,
You
a
see
few
him
months
going
before.
Way too hard, way too fast. on
Right?
that.
And with this
Don't
flat
want
work
that kind of
move,
speed. Too
And
aggressive.
I can do this just
Running
as a
by
warm
Too
up.
hard. It's not safe
Right?
for him to leap. It's not really easy for me to throw.
Like
to
I
him.
could have done the first
So,
session that
I'm
was a
gonna go
minute and a
ahead
half
and use
as a
some flat
warm up.
work to take a
And then I could have done this session as a warm up.
bolt,
Completely different skills, just a nice easy flat work thing.
send him around,
And
cue the drop, and then I'm gonna
get him groomed
guy, catch,
for following me, paying attention to me, working with me.
out. Yes.
And then in my
And
session,
now he's got
I'm going to take
me.
advantage of it like
Yes,
this,
good man. Out, and I'll pull him. Yes.
right?
Now that over pursuit is getting him in trouble. Out.
So before we stopped him,
Now you see
yeah,
him
you need
slow
to,
down a
Bo.
little bit.
And now we're pulling.
Yes.
And so now we're exercising his movement.
Good work. Oh. Out. Yes. Yes.
And he's
good
throttling
man.
down. He's
Out.
doing a great job.
Yes. Good work, buddy. Good work. Oh, good man. That's great. Pretty awesome, Obi.
It is pretty awesome, Obi.
The everything dog.
Right? Everybody,
April said he does everything in the show.
yeah, yeah, everybody loves him too.
Throw, right?
Yeah.
When the dog takes off running, you don't want to throw. If you don't throw, Mackay, catch. If you don't throw, out. He's got to slow
Was
down
this
and
after
start
I'd
you.
worked with him?
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
before?
yeah. This is after. So listen,
bad.
this is a key piece of advice here.
Out. He's got to slow down and stalk you.
And
Yes,
gotta
good
get
man.
back to that.
You don't want to throw.
So when the dog goes, don't throw, right? When the dog takes off running, you don't want to throw. If you don't throw, Mackay, catch. If you don't throw, ouse. He's got to slow down and stalk you. Super critical. If you don't throw, he can't strike the disc. He's got to slow down and stalk you. So when he came in, what happens is these dogs, especially a dog like Obi, comes flying in and busts you and forces you to kick out a frisbee. And so the game is me running in, bum rushing the handler, forcing you to chuck a frisbee over and over. And when we get the dog moving laterally and we bring the dog across and he's coming in from over there and he's running really hard at us, he runs right by. And then I just turn, right? And I pull a little bit and I make a throw. And the dog learns rather quickly, okay, well, I could run by, but why run by like that? Maybe I should just follow him instead, right? And then we stop him sometimes when he's coming across, or we pull him sometimes, and the dog learns, oh, okay, I'll go with my handler. Works out better that way. Yes, we have great frisbee catches. So he's going to slow down and actually stalk me. Oh, ouse. Good. Good work, Ob. Yes. Superstar. Oh, what happened? That wasn't quick enough. I'm sorry. Yep, sorry. Sucks to be that was you, good, Ob. But not quick enough. Super awesome. So yeah, you were a big part of that, actually, Jesse. Jesse did some work at camp with Obi 2 years ago. And we kind of turned Obi loose on Jesse. Figured they were a good match for each other. And Obi's a nice dog, but he's a bit much. He's really pushy. He's not like, yeah, he's pushy. It might not look like it on the field so much, but he's very pushy. I'm pretty proud of those videos with him, right? Like him moving nice and smooth and catching and not being completely recumbent and friggin' pogo stick landing. Like, you guys have no idea how completely batshit that dog is. We call him Spaceship. If you guys, the Lego movie, Benny, the astronaut, that's Ob. That's old Ben Kenobi. Yep, that's old Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan right there. So yeah. So super cool. I think, Jesse, I'm going to take off, man. I'm at 3 hours and 5 minutes here. And go ahead.
I was half asleep and something woke me up and I opened my phone up. I was like, oh, crap, Ron's live. And I've been with you for a long time.
Awesome.
So thank you for that.
Awesome. I'm glad you stopped by. I'm glad you called in. Anytime I'm on, hit me up. If you wanna talk about something, hit me up. I'm cool. I'm here most of the time, trying to make this a little more consistent and give myself some space to not have to create so much content. Like I can go through this content here and deliver better instruction than I can making new content and then being like, yeah, this doesn't cover that. You got to go to these 30 articles over there. Better to just kind of poke around my own stuff right now and try and be a little more structured as far as my newer content. So that's what I'm trying to do.
You're doing a good job, man. I appreciate all you do.
Right on, man. Well, super cool, Jess. Super awesome to hang out with you. Drop by anytime, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Yeah, brother.
All
Have
right.
a good night.
All right, we'll see you.
Good night.
All right, night-night.
Night-night.
Woohoo. All right, so here we go. Chat, anybody else still here? Thank you, Facebook user. If anybody has a last-minute question, I'll take it. Otherwise, I'm going to track down a meme roll and play us out with a little meme roll. Epi, do you want to come up? Come on, up. Yes, we had a little grasshopper on here. All right. What do you? All right. And Sage Paw, thanks a bunch for hanging out. We will talk to you all soon. I hope you and Ace of Hogan had a good time. And here, let's play a meme roll. Let's do meme roll number 4. Number 4. I think we're doing meme roll number 4. Deneen, bye. Thanks a bunch for hanging out. Hopefully next time I'll have all my cameras. I'm not Facebook user. Funny. Epi, don't be so savage. Don't be so savage. Meme roll. Oh, you know what? I'm going to, thanks to our patrons. This would not be happening without our patrons. Show is brought to you by our patrons. And yeah, you should become a patron. pvibe.com or patreon.com/pvibe. All right, we'll check you all later. Meme roll number 4. Have fun. Woohoo! Soon. Talk to you soon. Happy jamming.